Hey, hold it, Captain. I'm caught in this bush.
Parker, you nitwit. Cut! Well, look what you've done, you boob. You ruined the whole scene. Now we gotta shoot this all over again. Back to your places.
Oh, not again, Captain. You've been machine gunning us all afternoon.
Have a heart, sir.
We died 16 times already.
You be quiet. Nobody likes a pushy bit player. Carpenter, give me more blanks for the retakes.
Yes, sir.
If you men don't get this thing right, I'm gonna start using real bullets.
Oh, now look, Captain, we agreed to help you make this battle film so you can send it to your wife. But it's getting late.
Yeah, we'd kind of like to rest up for the party tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Captain. The cast party that you promised us.
There is not going to be any cast party unless you clodhoppers get this thing right. Do you understand that? Now get back to your places. Back to your places.
Your roll, man, Captain.
Just a minute. Are you ready, Carpenter?
Ready anytime you are, WB.
All right, now quiet on the set. Now, I want realism in it this time. I want you to think like Germans and act like Germans. Now, Achtung, mach schnell.
Your roll, man, Captain. Oh, and don't you worry, sir. When you yell action this time, it's going to be great. Tell you what, I'll take this grenade, and then I'll have a real sneer on my face like a German, like this.
No, you Chuck! No, you activated the grenade. Go ahead, try it. Hit the dirt, you guys.
Here's your grenade, Captain.
That grenade gave me a concussion.
Captain, sir,
You bumbling, look what you made me do now. The whole thing is...
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir, but well, I just wanted to tell you that the villa's all set up for the cast party.
Cast party? What cast party?
Oh, the one you promised Commander McHale and his men for helping out in the movie.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Oh, no, sir.
You think I'd give a party for those assassins after what they did to me out there this afternoon?
But, sir, I've already made the arrangements. The food, the wine, music for dancing.
Never mind. Only dancing I want to see are those assassins on the end of a rope. I just cancel it. I won't cancel everything. Gotta be somewhere I get rid of those men for good. Hello, Captain Binghamton.
Binghamton, it's Harrigan. I'm up in San Romano with Congresswoman Adele Austin of the Military Affairs Committee.
Congresswoman, huh? And you can't wait to start buttering her up, can't you? Oh, Harrigan, I tell you, you're without a doubt.
Look, Bingy, I don't have time to bicker. I just called to tell you that Miss Austin's coming to Volta Fiore at 9 o'clock tonight. So you better put your house in order quick.
What do you mean by a crack like that?
There's one thing Miss Austin can't stand. It's drinking and gambling and carrying on. So take my advice. If you want to make points with her, you better lock up McHale and his carousers for the night.
Harrigan, when I want your advice, I'll ask for it. Carpenter, lock up McHale and his carousers for the night. There's a congresswoman coming here. If she finds any gambling or drinking, then she... Wait a minute. This could be the answer to my prayer.
Sir?
You already said that. I changed my mind about the party. I promised McHale and his men a cast party, and I'm going to give it to them. Am I going to give it to them? Cheers, Elroy.
Cheers, sir.
Did I hear right, Captain? That the party is still on for tonight?
Quint, I am surprised that you're surprised. Weren't you promised a cast party by an officer and a gentleman?
Oh, no, sir. You promised us.
Love him. Now, you boys worked hard. You deserve a reward.
Oh, much obliged. Hi, fellas. Hi there. Hi. Hi, Captain.
Oh, hi. Look who's here, fellas. Dopey. Everything ready for the party?
Yes, sir. I ordered more food and more wine, and the villa is all ready for action. And the dancing girls are all set, too, sir.
Dancing girls?
Oh, yes. When I throw a party, I pull out all the stops. Why, back home at the yacht club, they used to call me King of the Wingdings.
Captain, are you sure that grenade didn't knock some bats loose in your belfry?
I've never seen anything like you. Okay, fellas, let's go. See you at the villa tonight. All right. 8 o'clock. Have a good time.
Thank you very much, sir.
Enjoy tonight. Enjoy. Eat. Live it up. Because in 2 hours, when I raid their little orgy with Congresswoman Austin, they're gonna be dead. You, I want you to get over the signal corps, and I want you to check out that movie camera again.
Movie camera? What for, sir?
Well, I want to record this little triumph for posterity. And for Pumpkin, you get it?
Check WBO.
Let's hear it for the king of prestidigitators, light-fingered Lester.
Cheers.
Here's looking at you. Bad grape.
You're cute.
Yes. Well, I guess I'll get a little air. I'll get back to this stuff.
Madam Congresswoman, as the military governor, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome you to Volta Fiore. And I would like to present these to you as a token of my esteem and my respect.
Oh, well, thank you, sir, but you really shouldn't have. I had
Not
to
by
do
the
that.
Congresswoman. Why would I give you anything?
Well, sir, I thought when... Well, sir, here's the movie camera.
It's about time. Did you look in on the party?
Oh, yes, sir, I peeked in, and I must say that Commander McHale and his men could certainly teach those Romans a few things.
Good. Because when the Congresswoman looks in and sees all that carousing, then it's going to be goodbye to the flea-bitten barflies of the 73 and hello, Admiral Binghamton.
Well, you're right, sir. She is bound to have you promoted. Admiral Binghamton.
Does have a ring to
Sounds
it, doesn't it?
beautiful.
Now, say it again.
Admiral Binghamton. Admiral Binghamton.
Admiral Binghamton.
Admiral Binghamton? Jumping the gun a bit there, ain't you, old boy?
Harrigan, I don't have time to talk to you. I'm awfully busy. I'm expecting a Congresswoman any minute.
Well, don't hold your breath, Wally boy. That's what I called you about. She's not coming to Volta Fiore.
I don't care about that because she's not what?
She got to fly back to Washington tomorrow, so I talked her into spending the rest of her stay up here.
Why, you sneaky, greedy, promotion-grabbing...
Now, Biggie, I know how bad you feel. But think of it this way. Volta Fiore isn't losing an admiral, it's gaining a general. Come on, sailor.
Elroy. This is the blackest moment of my life. I put on this whole wild party for nothing.
Oh, no, sir. It wasn't for nothing.
Wasn't?
Oh, no, sir. It cost you about 9,000 lira. There was 3,000 for the wine, 3,000 lira for the food.
I don't care what it costs. If only Congresswoman Austin could see McHale and his playboys in action.
Yes, sir. Well, I might as well take this movie camera back. There'll be nothing to photograph now.
I know it. Don't rub it in, you pea-brain, you... Wait a minute, I forgot about the camera. Elroy, you're a genius.
But, sir, I thought I was a pea-brain.
Well, you're the world's first pea-brain genius. What do you want from me? If she can't go to the party, we'll take the party to her on film in living color.
3,000 lira doesn't make it.
What I trust you're getting every sordid detail.
Oh, yes, sir. I've already taken 2 reels, sir. Oh, this should really make quite a movie.
Oh, I agree with you, Elroy. The only thing that is keeping this from being an American classic is it needs a handsome, dashing leading man.
But where could we ever find someone like that way out here, sir?
I'm him. Of course, I'm going to dash in and I'm going to break up that bacchanal. And I want you to take pictures of me doing it.
Oh, yes, sir. You can depend on me, sir.
No matter what happens, keep them rolling.
Keep 'em rolling.
Cary Grant, here I come. Judy.
Let's drink a toast to the man who's responsible for this party. Yeah, I'll drink to that. Our old commanding officer, who, although he may have a rough, tough, and gruff exterior, really has a heart. of lead.
All right, you barnacle booze hounds, you're under arrest.
Arrest? Why are we under arrest?
Oh, some people come in the room, say hello. He always says you're under arrest.
Mr. Capitano, right here.
Now, you girls, leave me alone. Stop it, no kisser.
No kisser. Go on, kiss him. He loves it.
Now, here, now you stop that. You bad girls, you just stop that. I'm a married man. What'll I tell Pumpkin?
What'll he tell Pumpkin?
Now the party's really picking up.
Here, Captain, have some wine. Yeah.
Wine, it does look like wine, doesn't it? Ah, it smells like wine, too. That is wine.
How about trying your luck with the bones, Captain?
No, wait a minute, Groob. I don't think the captain's a gambling man.
Oh, it's okay, Skip. As long as he's the host, he can have the first roll free. What do you say, sir? I can cover it up to 500 lira.
I'll take those dice, Gruber. And I've got a system. I'll show you a system how to get rid of that money. How do you like that system?
Yeah, that's a pretty good system. Let me try that.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Captain, you're a real swinger.
You're the life of the party, Wally, baby. I want to tell you, the party is over. Now get up your hands or I'm going to start shooting.
Come on, Wally, stop kidding.
You gotta be joking.
Wait, well, hold it, boys. I'm beginning to suspect that the joke is on us.
You couldn't be more right, McHale. All right, Elroy, cut.
Cut.
Check WB. Sir, I got it all. Every delicious moment of it.
Hey, what's with the camera?
Do shoot another movie?
That's right, and you're all the stars.
You took our picture without asking us? Oh, I'm going to call my agent.
I think you'd be a lot better off if you called your lawyer. Because when Congresswoman Austin sees these films...
Congresswoman? Hey, Captain, what's this about a congresswoman?
Such a blabbermouth. You're always... All right, McHale. Congresswoman Austin is coming here to the front looking for vice and corruption. And when I show her these films, it's going to be goodbye to the carousers of PT 73.
Captain, that big is awesome.
Well, all right, let's go. If we hurry, we may have the films ready in time for the Academy Awards. You've heard of them, haven't you, Academy Awards? Now, don't forget, that Congresswoman leaves for Washington tomorrow, so we'll get right on that film, Sergeant.
I'll have it for you in the morning, sir.
Oh, Sergeant, make up another print for me to screen in my office. I want to see if the camera catches the real me.
Hey, Biff, come here. Hey, Gruber, baby. I told you I'd pay you that $50 I owe you right after payday. Now I gotta go.
No. Now, how would you like to even up that debt right now?
I haven't got time for a game night now, Gruber. I gotta work on that film for Binghamton.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. You forget about Binghamton's home movies, and I'm sure Groove will be very glad to forget about that $50 you owe.
What?
Okay?
Oh, now wait a minute, fellas. Binghamton wants that film first thing in the morning. I deliver him a film. Excuse me, sir.
But wait a minute, Sergeant. Wait, just a minute. Okay, you deliver him the film in the morning. But suppose we make a few deletions, like cut out a few little things?
Like what?
Like us. Look, why don't we go into your office and talk this whole thing over, huh?
I just can't wait to see the world premiere of that award-winning picture, The Decline and Fall of the McHale Empire.
Captain.
Well, that isn't the Navy's answer to Laurel and Hardy. Come right in, boys. You're just in time for a showing of my new movie, sort of a sneak preview.
Oh, sneak's a good word.
It's very good. You're going to be awfully funny at the court-martial, Chucky. Go right in, boys. It's a free showing.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Don't have to thank me, McHale, because after Congresswoman... Get out of there. You're sick. What's the matter with you? Get over there. Congresswoman says the other print of this film for you and your party boys is going to be Gone with the Wind.
Oh, that's a good one, Sir God.
Yes, I sort of like that myself, Elroy.
Funny.
Roll 'em. Oh, I'm really going to enjoy this, McHale.
I'd enjoy it a lot more if I had some popcorn.
Shut up, you goof.
You look wonderful, Captain. And so brave and handsome.
Thank you, Elroy. This is one mess you're not going to lie your way out of, McHale, because one picture's worth 1,000 words.
Oh, you can say that again, sir. Just look at you, Captain.
Wait a minute, I don't remember that.
My, you are having yourself a time, aren't you, Captain?
Oh, I've seen winos in my day.
How did that get in there? That looks like I'm playing dice. Why aren't you and your men in that film?
Oh, we don't mind, sir. After all, you're the captain, and we're just lowly sailors.
Boy, look at him go, old Hot Lips Binghamton.
Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off!
Of course, I think it's a little too sexy for the enlisted man.
Carpenter, you dunce, you. Why did you keep photographing me? They're the ones I want to frame. Don't catch.
I don't know what happened, sir. I did take pictures of them.
Well, this is ridiculous. That picture makes me look like the biggest carouser since Whiskey Pete. I ought to tear you limb from limb.
But, sir, it's not my fault. Somebody must have edited that film.
Oh, don't be. Who could have edited the... Who would edit the... Oh, McHale. You and your scissor-happy thugs, you cut yourselves right out of that film, didn't you?
Oh, but Captain, we're not film editors.
Oh, I'm gonna get you for this.
Oh, but if I were you, sir, I wouldn't worry about us. I'd start thinking about yourself. Like, canceling that shipment of the other print to Congresswoman Austin.
Well, I hate to admit it, McHale, but you're right. That film could ruin me. Get on the phone. Call a signal corps. Cancel the shipment.
Yes, sir. Cancel it, sir?
Well, of course, cancel it. Do you know what would happen if that lady Blue Nose saw me running around up there like Irving Orgy or somebody? Do you have any idea what would happen?
No, sir. But I think we'll know pretty soon. I already sent her the film.
Well, that's good, because I don't... You what?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Sir, you told me to get it to her as quickly as possible, and you know me. I shipped it out the first thing this morning.
Well, you know me, and you'll get it right back here, you boob. Hello. Oh, Harrigan, why do you keep bothering me?
Whoa, my Wally. Oh, I've seen some earthy Italian films in my time, but that one you sent Congresswoman Austin, that'd be banned to the bachelor smoker.
You mean she's seen it already? But I can explain it, Colonel.
Oh, you'll have your chance. She canceled her flight home, and she's on her way to Volta Fiore to crack down on you and your wicked, wicked ways. Oh, I never knew you had it in you, you sly old dog, you.
Colonel, couldn't you, Colonel, hello, Colonel? Hello? Oh, Congresswoman has seen the film and she's on her way here.
Well, so long, Wally.
Now, wait a minute, just a minute. If she's coming down here to get my scalp, I'm going to see to it that she gets both of your scalps, too.
Well, that leaves me out.
Well, hold it, Chuck. Now, look, Captain, don't panic. Maybe we can figure out some way.
McHale, you did this to me. You edited that film to make me look like the star of an adult movie for Italians only.
Oh, sir, you mean an Italian movie for adults only?
Yeah, hey, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking. He knows what I mean, and you're going to get it.
Wait a minute, Captain. That could be it.
That could be what?
Our way out.
What's your idea, McHale? What?
I'm sorry, madam, but I'm under strict orders not to let anyone through until the captain has finished working.
Working, eh? Let me through, sailor, or I'll report you to your draft board. Captain Binghamton!
Who are you?
I happen to be Congresswoman Adele Austin.
Cut! Get your hands directly out. Cut!
Who let this woman in here? How dare you come on to my set in the middle of an important scene?
What in heaven's name is going on here?
What's going on? I tell you what's going on. This is a gondola race. So what do you think is going on? I'm trying to make it a cinema.
Maestro, calm yourself.
Don't talk to me. How many times I tell you don't talk to the director? How many times I tell you this is a closed set and no visitors, right?
Quiet on the set! Quiet on the set!
Who is this madman?
Oh, madman? Oh, no, ma'am. You see, this is Signor Federico Parchini.
Very famous Italian movie.
But I'll do the talking. I'm sorry we can't use you, but don't call us, so we call you.
Maestro, please, Maestro. See, this is Miss Austin. She's a United States Congresswoman.
I don't care. We can't use you now. No autographs.
Oh, I never.
Well, you ought to try once in a while. Now, I'll try.
Just a moment, my good man. Oh, Captain, And you, I insist on knowing, what is an Italian director doing making a bawdy movie with American personnel on an American military base?
Oh, no, ma'am. No. This is a training film.
A training film? For which side?
Well, you see, Monsieur Federico has graciously offered his talents to warn the American servicemen of the great dangers that they can expect in a strange country.
I find that very commendable, but rather hard to believe. A training film with Captain Binghamton in it?
Yes, I sent you the rushes. Didn't you get them? I mean, I thought I did rather well.
Well, you see, ma'am, that's the genius of Senor Federico. Yes, ma'am.
That's right. I have the ability to make anybody a great star. Even you.
Me?
Of course, it'd be very difficult, but it is possible when my genius arrives to the occasion.
Please, Senor Perchini.
Now, there is a face like the earth itself. Look at the profile. Look at the nose. Well, at the nose. But look at the fire in the eyes and the quiver in the lips. You can make it. You look. I can see that. You can do that, maybe.
Oh, you dear man.
All right, Senora McHale's, sign her up for the training film.
No, I'm sorry. The lady can't stay, sir.
Yes, senor. She's got to get back to Washington.
Forget Washington. Can he make her a star?
I'm sorry, Madam Congresswoman, but Lieutenant Cotton is waiting to take you to the airstrip now. You see, he's on second thought, Senor Parchini, using Miss Austin in a film might be an excellent idea.
I'm so confused. I don't know what to say.
Arrogance here. I'll try to get rid of him.
Oh, no.
I'm terribly sorry, Colonel, but my orders are not to let anyone in.
Carpenter, I'm warning you for the first and the last time.
Colonel Harrigan. We didn't expect you, sir.
I'm sure you didn't, McHale. Now, what's going on in there, and where is Congresswoman Austin?
Oh, well, she's very busy, sir, with Captain Binghamton. They're making a training film. So if you'll come back later, sir.
Please, mister.
That's your excuse this time, is it? A phony training film?
Yes, sir.
No. Did you say phony, Colonel? With the great Italian maestro Federico Parchini directing it?
Federico Parchini.
Oh, well, I wouldn't think of it.
Yes, sir. All right, knock it off, you phony. The party's over.
Miss Austin, ma'am, I'm sorry for what's happened here. I must apologize.
Colonel Harrigan, how dare you come barging in like this? You owe Senor Parchini an apology. You Philistine.
Senor Parchini? Let me tell you
How
something,
about,
ma'am.
wait a minute, Colonel. Senor Parchini, did you hear her deliver those lines? What fire! What talent!
Now look here, all of you. Quiet on the set.
Now, the way you call it this Philistine, that's a magnificent. Let me hear that again. Let me go.
You Philistine.
Beautiful.
Even I couldn't have done...
I tell you to be quiet. How many times I tell you to be quiet? I'll decide. I'm the director. Now, take this Philistine off of the set. Close set.
You heard him, Colonel. You're aggravating, Senor. You'll either have to go or be quiet.
You heard the Congresswoman?
No, I think in this scene I play as a woman who is a mature, experienced, dangerous.
I'd sure hate to be the one to tell her she's not really a femme fatale. Wouldn't you, Colonel?
I don't care. You simply can't do... Oh, you did it to me again.
It's a beautiful, such a passion, such a fire.
Yeah, I must say, we've had some close calls, but that was...
Yankee notes! Die! Hold it!
Yeah, now, wait a minute, Fooch. Can't we talk this over? I mean, after all, we're friends, aren't we?
Yeah, well, what's this all about?
Oh, wait a minute. I dropped the 20, Skip. Thank you.
Yes. I didn't want him to blow away from you.
Oh, yeah. Just,
Have you heard about the poor, weak children of Salerno?
Salerno?
Yes.
No.
No wonder. They are so embarrassed, they won't even mention it. They won't even talk about it. And they can't put a big olive into a little bottle. They are so weak. I tell you, it's a shame. Permit me to introduce myself to you. My card.
Well,
Dr. Guido Ponzini, M.D. and college graduate.
I am very happy to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
I am director of the free children's clinic in Salerno. And those poor children, you don't believe how bad it is. Their hands crimped into a cramp. They can't do anything at all with them. It's a shame, really, when you think about it. You know, I tell you. Thank you very much for this donation.
Donation?
Yes. And I want to tell you that your name will be written down in the book of generosity. And an olive tree will be planted in your honor.
But an olive tree?
Yeah,
for with the... Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, this will be good. Parker. P-A-R-K-E-R.
Yeah. Okay, would you like to have this tree watered?
Watered? Oh, yeah, sure, I guess.
3 times a week?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, it's $10.
Oh, thank you. That's a lot of water.
Yes, it is, but these trees drink. There you go. Fine.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I got to get going. Skip is waiting for me, so...
May the bird of paradise smile all over you.
It's arrived. The gym equipment you wanted from special services, sir, it's here. Bring it in, fellas. Easy now. Put it right down there. That's it. Come on now. Hurry. That's it. All right.
Oh, wonderful. This is my gym equipment. I'll really get the general to change his tune now. Pry.
Captain, if you just sign these leaf papers.
Oh, my, what a big crate this is. We're going to be able to set up the most fabulous gym for the general you ever saw. We'll have punching bags, and we'll have weights, and we'll have barbells, and we'll have golf clubs, and we'll have golf clubs and Is that all you ordered, you boob? Golf clubs for a gymnasium? There's nothing in here but golf clubs.
Sir, there must be some mistake. I ordered what you told me.
Well, now, the Navy will do that once in a while, sir. Now, if you'll notify them in triplicate about the boo-boo you made in duplicate, well, then, see...
You get out of my office, you goof. And you too, McHale. What are you doing in here anyway?
Sir, I just...
I don't care about that. Get out of here. I'm going to start teeing off.
But, Captain...
Out.
Here. Aye, sir.
I'll get it, sir.
Never mind, I'll get it.
Well, I'd like to,
I don't care about
to
that.
help
If
you.
you had any brains, I'd brain you. Hello, Captain Binghamton, your military governor. It's all right, lovable. It's one of us. Oh, it's you, Harrigan. What's the matter? You sound friendly.
Oh, I am. I just called to tell you that a whole box of athletic equipment addressed to you just arrived at my office by mistake.
Oh, it did? That's wonderful. Wonderful. Would you send it right over, please?
I also heard about your idea to set up a little gym and health club for the general. Brilliant maneuver. The old man's a real bug on physical culture.
You will send it right over, won't you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I've decided that such a brilliant idea, I'm going to keep the gym equipment and do it my own self.
Now, look here, you grabber.
You tell him, sir.
I'm telling you. You can't get away with this.
When I get the gym set up, you can come over and join me and the general in a few push-ups.
Harrigan, I'm telling you. Harrigan, you did it to me again, you...
Sir, are you going to let him get away with this?
Well, what am I going to do? He's got all of my gym equipment. All I've got is a lot of stupid golf clubs. I certainly will never get palsy-walsy with the general like this.
Sir, instead of building a gym, how about building a golf course? All athletic men play golf, and if you have a golf course,
that's a marvelous idea.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Well, I'm going to use the hole in your head for the first hole. You know how much it costs to build a golf course? Well, let me tell you, it costs a fortune to build a golf course. And who am I going to get to build it, even if I had a fortune? Some souped-up gopher?
Well, sir, I just thought you've got all these...
Oh, you thought. What'd you use to think with? I'm telling you, full of stupid. What do you want? We don't want any. Go away.
Good out.
You speak English. Good thank heaven, that means this town is free from the Germans at last.
Of course it is. Thanks to Captain Binghamton here. He's our military governor.
Captain Binghamton.
No, Binghamton.
Binghamton.
No. Binghamton. Accent on the ham. Oh, no offense, sir.
Would you stop with this and just get rid of him, Carpenter?
Captain Carpenter.
No. He is Carpenter. My name is Binghamton. Why am I getting mixed up in it? What's the difference who we are? Who the devil are you?
Who am I? I am internationally known. My card, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Count Guido Panzini, architect?
Correct. Count Guido Panzini, architect. I am architect to the wealthy. I have built golf courses all over the world.
You build golf courses?
I don't want to talk of it. I have come to your beautiful city for a rest, and I am delighted that it is military governed by such a fine man as Captain Binghamton.
Binghamton.
Never mind about that. Now, about the golf courses that you build, Count Manzini.
Count Panzini. You're trying to get even.
No. I'm just curious about the golf courses.
Never again will I build another golf course. Because when they want you to rush. Did you believe it? The last golf course I built, less than 2 weeks.
2 weeks? You built an 18-hole golf course?
Who said that?
You did.
I did not. Didn't say that. I said 9-hole golf course is what I built in 2 weeks, not 18. That's ridiculous. Besides, a 9-hole course, the fellow can afford it.
How much? I mean, how nice that you could drop by and say hello, Count. Well, now, how long do you intend to visit our delightful little city?
Oh, about 2 weeks. The time would take me to, build a golf course. If I was going to build one, which I am not.
Excuse us a minute, Duke.
Count.
Count. Excuse us. Carpenter, I'm going to break out a bottle of our best champagne for our guests.
Oh, we're going to have champagne, sir?
No, we are. You're not. While we're drinking it, you go over and find out how much money we've got in the Navy Recreation Fund. The General is as good as teeing off.
A PT boat I can steer, not a skip loader.
Oh, we've had some bum raps, but this is the worst yet.
Skip, we object.
Light bottom cannot make us do it.
What kind of work is this for fighting in? Building a golf course.
All right. I'm just as sore as you guys. Oh, here comes the captain now. Here, you guys let me do the talking, will you? Hi, Captain. Captain, I'd like to talk to you about this work detail, sir.
Negative, McHale. Yours is not the reason why.
I know ours is just a do or die and all that sort of jazz. But, sir, this is an unfair assignment. What do we know about building a golf course
You
yet?
don't know if they know anything about building a golf course. I've hired an expert on golf courses. Here he is right here. This is the man that is going to work the miracle for us. This is the internationally famous architect, Count Guido Panzini.
Architect? Boy, he must really need the money for that children's clinic. This is his second job.
Captain Binghamton, Lieutenant Carton Payne, I'm the man of the United States Naval. Today we are going to build a golf course. Now, the first hole will be a very beautiful, breathtaking hole, a broken dogleg straight to the sea. Now, the second hole will be similar to the hole I built in Tanganyika, which was a 3-part hole you had to shoot over a pygmy village. And if you were short and you didn't make the green, and those little thunder guns didn't miss it.
Oh, brother, now I've heard everything.
The third hole, Count, the third hole.
I will have that hole ready for you tomorrow. In the meantime, do what I have said so far, huh? This is for you. Arrivederci, goodbye.
All right, you heard the count, you men. Now, I want to see backs and elbows.
No, wait a minute, Captain. Where did you find this character, this Panzini?
Save your breath, McHale, because the man is already hired. So are you and your laborers. Now, I want you to get busy,
Or what, sir?
Well, I don't know. Let's just try it that way once. Avante, Elroy, avante.
Boy, that Dr. Panzini's a nice guy.
Oh, come on, Chuck. You got Dr. Panzini?
Yeah, modest, too. Never told me he was a count. Boy, he sure must need that $40 I gave him for the hospital to take 2 jobs like this.
$40? A hospital, 2... Wait a minute. I may be a bit daffy, but I think we better start investigating this Dr. Panzini. Listen, Chuck.
Oh, Count, it's me. It's Capitano Bungman to, Binghamton.
Yes?
Well, I brought you money.
Cap, I don't mean to be impolite, but if I am not polite, the morning. You're lucky. Listen, I just remembered it's time for a coffee break. Yes, now, you're saying something about my money.
Money, yes, it's the money you need to build the golf course. I got it from the Navy Rec Fund. There's over 1,000 here.
1,000 lira? What can one build nowadays for 1,000 lira?
Oh, lira? Oh, well, I thought you meant dollars.
These are dollars?
Yes, dollars. I'm so silly of me. You meant lira, of course.
No, you're not silly. I am silly. This is what I meant, dollars. Now, I don't have too much time to discuss this any further, but if this is all you have, it is all you have.
That's every penny.
Yes, well, then I'll do the best that I can. You know, I'll make the holes shorter. I'll paint some of the greens, buy some cheap dirt. But the general, he will love it. Now the coffee break is over. I have to get back to work.
Well, I'll see that you're not disturbed, Count. 4.
4. Very good. Now, though, that I have the money, I must get back to work. Arrivederci, Captain Binghamton. Binghamton. Binghamton, right. Very good, very good.
Harrigan and his Jim. Wait till the General sees what I got for him here.
Captain Binghamton! Captain!
Captain, I've got something to show you.
Parker, what are you...
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I think you'd have missed anyway. You should keep your head way down your back.
Get your head off of my head. I'll keep my head moving. What are you men doing bursting in here like this anyway? Why aren't you working on my golf course?
We are, sir, we are, but we thought you'd like to see this.
I don't want to see anything. All I want to see are your backs. When you're... What is this thing? Dr. Guido Panzini, M.D. and college graduate? What is it? What?
That, sir, is a business card that your architect friend gave to Mr. Parker yesterday. He's a con man, sir. He passed himself off as a doctor and collected $40 from Chuck here for a phony children's clinic.
That's right, man. I'm going to call the park commissioner before he gives away all those olive trees.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Put that down. Put it down. Put that down. Get out of here.
Oh, well, wait a minute, Captain.
Never mind that. Talk about con men. You phonies will do anything to get out of a day's work.
Captain! Captain, he's gone. He's gone. The Count is gone.
What are you talking about?
Well, I was bringing him some fresh towels, sir, and he wasn't there, and everything's gone. His suitcase, his blueprints, everything gone.
He can't be gone.
Oh, yes, sir.
Count, it's me, it's Capitano. Bing, boom, Count, I see you under there. McHale, what are you doing? I don't have enough troubles without you. Count.
Captain Binghamton or whatever it is. Now do you believe us, sir?
Any ashtrays missing?
Ashtrays? Oh, I hope not. Good heavens. No. Thank goodness. This is the only ashtray in the room. It's still here. I'm certainly glad you thought of that because... What do I care about ashtrays? I don't care about ashtrays. The man walked off with the whole base recreation fund. He stole over $1,000.
$1,000?
Our recreation fund.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Stop with the echoes in here. We've got to get the MPs. If this gets out, I could be ruined. The MPs.
The MPs, yes.
MPs. Wait a minute. Maybe they got him already. Could be the news. Hello, Captain Bungleman.
Binghamton.
Captain Binghamton here.
Hi, it's me again.
Uh-oh, Harrigan.
Tell me, old boy, what's new?
New? Nothing new. No, I mean, all the ashtrays are here and everything.
Something must be new. I just got word that you withdrew $1,000 from your rec fund.
Oh, boy.
And I also heard that you've been secretly building a little golf course.
A golf course? Me building a golf... Well, that's ridiculous.
I think the best thing is for me to come over there first thing in the morning and find out for my own self.
I can explain everything. Kurt, don't come... No, I can't explain anything. What am I... And that big nose goes snooping around here, then he'll talk to the general, and I'll be ruined. What am I going to do?
I got it. Look. Why don't we all go home, get a good night's sleep, and meet here tomorrow?
No, don't leave me. Please don't leave me. I don't want to be left alone. McHale, listen. You're always able to get those goofballs of yours out of trouble. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean that. I mean that fun-loving, impulsive crew of yours. Whenever they get in trouble, you get them out of spots. Now, you could do that for me. If you do that for me, I'd do anything for you. Anything.
You mean that, Captain?
Yes, anything. I mean, my whole career is at stake. Just name it.
Tell you what, you just sign these leave papers here, and I'll see if I can get you out of the jail.
I'll sign anything. But how are you going to do this? I mean, the man is going to come here, he's going to expect to see a golf course, and he's going to have the missing recreation fund. And then, how do I get myself into these things?
Well, I think it's because you're so stupid.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I don't care about that. I mean, what are a few insults when my whole life is at stake? Now, just tell me what to do, for goodness sakes. The man wants to see a golf course. There's a missing recreation fund.
Four. Now, don't pop your buttons, will you, Captain? Now, if you just gather around me, sir, I'll tell you what to do.
You'll tell me what to do?
Yes.
There's a solution?
Yes.
Get away from me. Now, look.
Well, Captain, what do you think?
Well, I can't get over it. You did this whole thing overnight?
Yes, sir. Just promised my boys some leave, and they'll move mountains.
But 18 holes.
Oh, that's just a sign, sir. Around the bend, nothing but swamp.
Let's give this an Army Chief approach.
All right, men. Men, golfers, battle stations here. All right, now, men. The first twosome up there. Hurry up, boys. An awful lot of boys waiting to play. Let's go. Let's hurry it up. Come on, boys. Let's go.
U.S. Navy, 18-hole golf course. Ha! By golly, you do have one, Wally.
Yes, only out here, they call me Scotty Binghamton. Now, the first hole is a little tricky, Colonel, but once you get around those trees, beautiful. Just beautiful. Sort of makes your gym seem like day-old bread, huh?
I just can't believe it.
Hold it, man. Hold it now at 10 hut. Hi, Colonel. Hi, Captain. Scotty. How you hitting them?
Oh, you know, Quinn, I'm still slicing them. Got to keep the old head down.
Keep that head down.
Hi, Colonel. How are you? Say, you're a little out of uniform, aren't you? Hi, Scotty. How you hitting him?
You already asked me that, you boob.
Oh, he's sore because I beat him yesterday, 2-up. Say, you're going to have to straighten him out if you want to get the general over here, boy.
Well, I'll straighten you out.
Oh, beautiful, Captain. Beautiful. Oh, what a follow-through in that wrist action. Beautiful. Now, you keep that up.
Boy, that's great. Let me try that. Let me see. Hey, you got some new clubs, huh? Boy, a lady whipper. Wow. Stand back, boys. Let me try that. Well, sorry about that, Colonel. I'll buy a new windshield.
All right, number 28 up on the tee. Sorry, gentlemen, we'll have to clear the tee now.
Scotty, old boy, come here. I want to talk to you.
Well, just forget it, Harrigan. I know what's on your mind, and just forget it. This is my golf course.
Yeah, I'm afraid he's right, sir. Yes, you can't cut us out this time. You see that sign, sir? It says U.S. Navy Golf Course.
Well, I was going to be pleasant about this, but I ain't got time to be a nice guy. So you gentlemen just get your sailor boys together and clear off of my land.
Your land?
Yes, you made one little mistake, Bingy, old boy. You built it on Army territory.
Well, of all the... And now I suppose you're going to confiscate it, or grab it. Just take all the credit, right? Right.
Well, you can't do it.
Right. Not until you pay us back the money that we sank into this beautiful 18-hole golf course. Yes, sir. And to be exact, it was $1,000, sir, out of our recreation fund.
Oh, all right. Here's my authorization. My personal IOU for $1,000. There I go. Now, everything's even, Stephen? Get off of my course!
Yes, sir. All right, men. You'll have to clear out now. This is an Army golf course now. You'll have to get out of here.
I won't forget this.
Oh, well, come along, Captain. He's got us over a barrel. Bye-bye. Okay, all right, men. Let's go.
Captain, I got him, sir.
Oh, boy, it's Ponzini.
That carpenter will ruin everything.
Panzini? Who's Panzini? What's he doing here?
You're Ponzini, Dr. Ponzini, you mean? Yes, he's the captain's personal physician.
Personal physician?
Oh, yes, sir. You see, the captain has a bad back.
Yeah, it's a bad, too much golf, I think. And my eyes are killing me, and the headaches. Oh,
If you gentlemen will excuse me,
Did you ever have these things? They start...
Sir, I caught him. He didn't get away, sir. I caught him. I've got him, sir. I got him.
Ah, Doctor, so good to see you.
Why are you calling him doctor? He's not a...
Shh, I'll explain later.
But he's not a...
Shut up, you ninny.
A ninny?
Look, you better be a doctor, you understand? Or I'll wring your neck. Capito?
Capit? I finished second in my class. Stick out your tongue.
He is for the captain.
Oh, so nice of you to come, Doctor.
Sir, what is this?
Oh, am I glad we caught up with you, Doctor.
At your service, Captain Binghamton. Oh, my goodness, you look very bad. I hope pull him up. I hope I'm here on time. Open your mouth. My flashlight I left in my other patient.
Yeah, well, now, just a minute, Doctor. Look,
I don't get it. He's your fellow partner, Harry.
It's let me see. Oh, it's worse than that. Pink eye. Yes, pink eye. With purple complications and bluish. My goodness, the view is breathtaking in there.
McHale, what kind of a doctor is this?
well, sir, how do you expect the doctor to give him any kind of an examination out here in the middle of a golf course yet? Well, the captain should be brought in.
Hey, Skip, the general's car's coming down the road.
The general?
The general?
Ah, this finger.
The general couldn't have timed it better. Oh, what a surprise.
Well, shock is more like it. What do you say we get out of here, boys?
Captain, you better get in.
Yes.
Yeah, you better all get in. Come on.
Here we go.
In you go. I don't want any of you cooks here when the general gets to see my golf course.
You did it to me again, Harry.
Try, beat it, blow.
It's the dirtiest trick you've ever pulled, sir.
Cheaters never prosper.
You bite your tongue.
Well, General Bronson, sir. What a pleasant surprise.
Colonel, wasn't that Binghamton in that Jeep that just drove off? And what's with those weird get-ups?
Yes, sir. That was Binghamton, all right. He had to take off in a bit of a hurry. Took a dizzy spell.
Well, get him back. I just drove 60 miles through German patrols to have a look at the golf course I heard he built out here. By George, he has.
I'm afraid you got the scuttlebutt all wrong, sir. I built it. This is my golf course. Of course, I mean our golf course, sir. It belongs to the Army. See there, look. U.S. Army, 18-hole golf course.
Well, so it is. That's good work, Harrigan.
Thank you, sir.
That'll make this afternoon even more enjoyable. Sergeant, my clubs.
Well, now, sir, this first hole, it's a little tricky and a bit narrow, so you got to thread that needle right down through there. And after you get through them trees, be beautiful.
It's working, gentlemen. Look at Harrigan taking all the bows.
I'd like to see the look on his face when he goes around that first hole and finds out it's just a swamp. Squish.
We really put one over on them, eh, Goombay?
Oh, we certainly did, Goomba. I'll Goomba you crook. You slip away from my money.
You can't hit a doctor. I don't care. Now, listen, I can get you nylon.
Four. Captain, please. Yes, sir.
Boy, this is fun to watch. For a change, it isn't me.
Hey, boys, we better shove off before old Leadbottom changes his mind about our leave. Come on. Hey, where's Fooch? Gotta say goodbye. Fooch! Hey, Fooch! Fooch, you're right.
Right here, Skipper-san. I just bought you a nice going-away present from an Italian man on bicycle. Only $1. Very good deal.
Holy jumping head. Captain Binghamton's ship's clock.
Who was this guy? For another back, he also putting my name on...
Carpenter!
Coming, Captain. Yes, sir. What is it, Captain?
Carpenter, have you seen anyone sneaking around here lately? You know, snooping around and,
No, sir, no. Not that I recall. Oh, just a minute. Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yesterday morning, right outside your office.
Outside my office?
Yes, sir.
Well, don't just stand there. Let's go.
Well,
Maybe
sir,
we can spot him again. That's probably the spy.
The spy? Oh, no, sir. He couldn't be a spy. It was General Bronson.
Well, I don't care who it was. I'm suspicious of everybody.
General Bronson.
Bronson? How could he be a spy? What's the matter with you? They'd be better off if they'd left you home and drafted your kitty car. Who is it?
Captain Binghamton?
I'm Captain Binghamton.
I have sealed orders from General Bronson.
Well, hand them over, boy. Hand them over.
They're top secret, sir. You'll have to identify yourself.
Identify myself? Carpenter, tell him who I am.
He is Captain Binghamton.
Hey, give me the orders.
I'm sorry, sir. Your dog tags?
My dog tag. Think this is carrying things a little bit too far? Wait! I'd like to see the dimple on my right knee.
Oh, no, sir. Your records state no identifying marks. I'm sorry, sir, but General Bronson's orders are for top security. Sign here, please.
Oh. No identifying marks. And was pushy enough to be a second lieutenant.
It's top secret, sir. Must be very important. Why don't you open it?
Why don't I open it?
Yes.
Because it's marked right here, do not open until 6 p.m. That's just as plain as anything. Of all the Butinskis I ever saw. What is that now? What is that? What?
Chi sei, cretino? Chi ti pare che sono io? Oh! Oh!
Hey, Signorina,
What are those carousers doing carousing out there at this hour of the morning? Why aren't they out on patrol?
They just came back in, sir.
Is that a disgrace? Oh. It makes you wonder how we're ever winning this war. Oh, that McHale. I've got to put these secret orders in the wall safe until tonight because we want to make sure that... Where are the secret orders? I put the secret orders right here. What did you do with my secret orders?
Sir, nothing, sir. You had them.
What kind of a crack is that? I have find them. The general knows they're mislaid with frenzy.
Yes, sir, they could... Sorry, sir, but I thought you might have put them in the wastebasket.
You're the fool. If I put anything in the wastebasket, it's going to be you. Take me out of office for those orders. Go. We've got to find those people. What is that?
By a spy, sir. A spy. Shh. What?
Don't even say that word. Don't say a word like spy. This is a very serious thing. If those orders would fall in the hands of an enemy, why, they could have you shot.
Oh, yeah, they could. Me? But, sir, it was addressed to you. I didn't even touch it.
Never mind. Don't try and weasel out of it, you weasel.
I'm not a weasel, sir. I'm Elroy.
I don't care what you are. It's no excuse. And I intend to see to it that you're... Well, don't panic. Don't panic. Maybe there's a way out of this.
Oh, what is it, sir? Tell me. What?
Watch that. There's a spy in town. Maybe we can capture him.
Oh, I hope so, sir. But tell me, how, sir? How?
In a trap. We've got to be very careful. But because whoever the fiend was who stole those orders, he must be diabolically clever.
Oh, me for the sack. Why doesn't Leadbottom get someone else for these night patrols?
Hey, where's my Italian dictionary? I want to find out what I said to that doll. You know, I left it right here.
Hey, anybody see my laundry list? Hey, who took my menu for the week?
Hey, who swiped the letter I was writing to my mom?
What the devil's going on here?
Yeah, who'd want to take such goofy things?
Sure strange. Hey, Skip, you don't suppose that rumor about a spy operating in the area is true, do you?
Oh, forget it, Chuck. Now, what would a spy want with a laundry list or a menu or even your mom's letter? Come on, you guys just misplaced them.
Wait just a minute. According to the military manual on security, a spy could get a lot of information from a laundry list or a letter.
Well, now, I'll tell you. You want to go look for a spy with a laundry list? Go ahead.
I want to get me some sack ties.
Well, you guys are going to be sorry someday you don't pay more attention to the manual. I don't know about them, but I'm going to look for this spy. According to the manual, I'm not supposed to trust anybody. Be your buddy, posing as a... See, Kyle.
You say something, Mr. Parker?
Huh? No. I said, see you in a while. It's an American greeting.
Hey, Marco, you make a faster trip. Let me see what you brought. Let me see. Hey, documento, certificado, stesso. Pay attention, and don't like I'm talking to you. Watches, I tell you. Wallets, I tell you. We're good at the paper. Are you gonna have to go back? Are you understanding me? Come on, come on. Get up. Go, no. Come on, get up. Watches and a wallet. No papers. Magabi.
There's a spy around here. I'll find him. Hold it, halt! Halt! Oh, didn't have any food. Hey, there was a spy around here. He was barefoot. Well, that shouldn't be too hard to follow. He's got 3 toes.
My, what a beautiful day. Yes?
Sir, a courier is here with secret orders.
A courier is here with secret orders?
A courier with secret orders.
Send him in.
Sir, are you Captain Binghamton?
Yes, I'm Captain Binghamton. Here are my dog tags.
Let me see, sir.
Are those my top secret orders?
No, sir. These are your top secret orders, sir. Sent directly to you from the Pentagon.
Oh, the Pentagon. Well, they must be urgent. Let me have them.
Sir.
Oh, top secret. Do not open until 5 p.m. Oh, well, I'll just leave them here on my desk.
Good idea, sir.
I hope they give us all of the Allied beach landings. Come, I'll see you at the door.
Thank you, sir.
Elroy! I got him! I got the spy, Elroy!
Oh, good-o! We caught him, sir.
What do you mean we? I may mention you when I put myself in for the Navy Cross.
Oh, he looks kind of hairy, sir.
I don't care about his shaving habits. Just hold him down there. I'll get the gun.
Okay, sir.
All right, I got you covered. Come on, Achtung, mach schnell. Ah!
It's just a chimp.
Well, I thought it was kind of short for a spy. Well, I don't care what it is. It's an enemy agent. Look at those shifty eyes.
Oh, sir, how could a chimp possibly be a spy? It's not...
They're clever. That's how they do. I'll show you. I'll prove it. Watch this. Sig Heil! Sig Heil! Hooray for the Fuhrer.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. But I know I'm not going to let any midget ape outsmart me. I've got it. We'll give him what he came for. Then he'll take it to his accomplice.
You are brilliant, sir. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You can. Here you are. Here you are, old buddy. Here you are. Take that. Now, I don't want to fight with you. Just take this to the boss. He'll give you lots of bananas.
More papers.
be the spy's hideout. Hey, boy. Fuji's menu. Letter to my mother. Top secret orders addressed to Captain Binghamton. Boy, this must be the Hey! All right, hold or I'll shoot. Okay, you don't fool me. Pretty clever disguise, huh? Yeah. All right, come on, take it off, you crowd. I said take it... Hey, you're just a chimp. That's no excuse. You're under arrest anyway. No drinking while you're under arrest. All right, don't make a move. Top secret. Captain Binghamton. Boy, this is really something. I never heard of top secret.
I don't believe this. Would you look at who Mr. Big is?
Vincent Parker. You mean he's the brains?
Are you kidding? Well, between the two of them, it's got to be the chimp.
Wow, did you make a haul? Wait till I show this to the skipper.
Oh, is this my lucky day? This'll clear me with the general and then some. All right, we're gonna move in. Keep him covered. Get him up!
Hi, fellas. Boy, am I ever glad to see you, Captain.
All right, get him up. Keep him covered, Carpenter. All right. Back. Oh, you should have known better than to try this. Now, who else is in this spy ring with you?
Me? Oh, no, I'm not inspiring. You see, I just happen to...
Never mind that. I give me those things. Freeze, you little fink, you. There's our top secret. There's the top secret that I planted, the phony. And here's all the other things. Stand back. Come on, you guys. Come on,
No, you see, sir.
Why don't you just play it smart and admit that you and this other chimp stole these things from McHale?
Oh, you think that he and I... Oh, no, see, you guys got it all wrong. Why, I never saw him before in my life. Well, he'll tell you. So, pardon me. See, he, well, honest, we never met before.
Never saw him before, huh? Well, you sure make friends in a hurry.
Well, no, not really. Would you tell him that we never, the one with the glasses, that we never have, well, we've never been introduced.
All right, Elroy, let's get these spies fitted for a wall.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Hold it, you guys. Now, I don't know about him, but I'm no spy.
Oh, come on, move it. Get moving. Oh, don't you try that with me. Go ahead. Move.
All right. Now I want you to talk. I've just had enough of you. I want you to talk. I want you to tell me how you got the information to the lines. I want you to tell me how much the Germans are paying you. You're working for McHale, right? Talk.
Ensign Charles Parker, serial number 52-429-406. I may as well let you know, sir. It's my duty as an officer to try and escape.
Now, listen. Get back in. I caught you again. Back. Now, sit up there. You don't see him trying to pull that stuff, do you?
Oh, he didn't know about the tunnel.
Never mind that. I want you to stop with this silly name, rank, and serial number. Get your hands off of my lamps. Now, should you say anything else?
Well, I'd like a glass of water.
No, you're not getting any water. Don't you get cute with me. And you're not getting any bananas.
Captain, what in the... Oh, there you are. Captain, what in the blazes you think is going on around here? Listen, you can't hold Mr. Parker. Hey, where'd your chimp come from?
As if you didn't know. It's Herr McHale, fellas. Took me a while to catch these spies of yours, but once I get them to admit they're working for you...
I don't know what's wrong with him. He keeps saying both of us. Stole his secret orders.
Captain, are you kidding? Stealing secret orders from what... Listen, are you... And the chimp, I never saw that...
Oh, quit trying to pretend like you don't know him. You know who he is. Look who's here. It's the boss, Mr. Big, McHale.
Come on, Captain, you gotta come up with a better cockamamie story than that.
Cut, McHale. It's a pretty good act, but it isn't gonna work. Because when I cut Parker and the little grabber here, they had these on them. These are my top secret orders from the general. Get your sticky little fingers off of those orders.
Oh, Captain, this is ridiculous. Mr. Parker's no spy, and here, let me take a look.
Just sticky. Everywhere I go, you're grabbing on all sides. You'd just love to get a look at these orders, wouldn't you? Well, it's not gonna work, McHale. I can tell you that, because when I'm through with you, I'm gonna lynch link you with these other two missing links.
Look, someone must have spiked your cornflakes. This just doesn't make sense.
Well, you listen to me, you bulging Benedict Arnold, you. When I get to... Ah, stop him. Come back here, you little... He did it to me again. Stop that chimp. MPs, everybody.
Well, I don't blame him for running away. After all, the way you talk to him.
Oh, I'm not even going to wait for the firing.
No.
What happened, sir? What happened,
Chimp,
sir?
he got away with the orders again.
Oh, shouldn't we go after him,
Of
sir?
course we should go after him, but how are you at swinging through trees?
Well,
Get the MP.
MP.
Stay here. You're still under arrest.
Marco, I thought you were under arrest. What did you bring this time? Huh? Oh, mamma mia. You stupid monkey. How many times I got to tell you?
There's the chimp, like Mr.
Hold it
Parker
right there,
said.
McQueen.
No, shoot. I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
Maybe he's the spy.
Come here, chimp.
Yeah, all right, boys. Let's take a look around, see if there's anybody else.
Please, Signora Comandante, I am no spy. I am a gypsy.
Yeah, I see.
Ascoltate. Listen. The violin. I make the violin cry.
That's not crying. That's hysterical.
All right, that's enough. Look what I found. Holy jumping Hannah. These are the papers Binghamton's been looking for. My friend, you got a little explaining to do.
It's him. He took it. The stupid monkey. I used to tell him to steal the watches and the wallets. No. He gotta bring it back papers all of the time.
So that's what happened to my laundry list.
And Fuji's menu.
Well, gentlemen, it says here do not open until 6 p.m. We still got time to get this back to Binghamton and spring Mr. Parker. Come on, boys, bring him along.
What a charming group. Carpenter, get their weapons. You're all under arrest.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Captain. Now, we just found your top secret orders here.
That's my secret orders. I'll take those. You men saw that. You're all witnesses to this. Oh, McHale, after all these years, I've finally got you red-handed.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Captain. You got it all wrong.
Save your breath, McHale. You can tell it to the firing squad. And as for you, I'll get you a short rifleman.
Oh, Captain, this is ridiculous. You know darn well that Mr. Parker and I aren't spies.
I'm no spy, too. I'm a gypsy. I am a traveling troubadour. La bruna gondoletta, la vaca macaro. See?
I see. All that proves is you're a spy with a lousy voice.
Oh, Captain, listen to reason, will you? Look, if we did steal those papers, why didn't we deliver them to the Germans, huh?
Because I outwitted you, that's why. Now admit it, I'm a better man.
Excuse me, sir. It's 6 o'clock.
So it's 6 o'clock. Is that all you got to do is run around and announce the time?
No, sir, I meant it's time to open your secret orders.
I don't care about the secret. My secret order? Why didn't you say so, you boob?
Well, I just...
Stand here like this. This is what you wanted, wasn't it? Admit it, you spies.
We're not spies!
That's right. I'm a Boy Scout, and I'm trustworthy.
And I'm a gypsy troubadour. La bruna gondoletta.
Sir, do you think it's wise to read that in front of these spies?
Yes, I think it's wise to read this in front of these spies. Too late for Fritz McHale to get this information of the enemy anyway. Oh, your lunchman would have paid a bundle for this outfit. To Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, re-coordinated attack. Order all PT boats in your command to rendezvous 100 yards off Point Lorenzo at 2100.
100 yards off Point Lorenzo? But, Captain, that's insane.
How is it? Signed General Bronson. How about that? Now, hush, you kraut lover.
But wait a minute, Captain. Point Lorenzo is held by the enemy. Why, our rendezvous there would put the boats right under the German shore batteries. Look, there's something wrong there.
Something wrong, all right, and it's you selling out your country. That's what's wrong. Get me all PT commanders on a conference call.
Oh, no, Captain, don't do it, please. Look, do what you want with us, but don't send those boats to Point Lorenzo.
Anything for a buck, huh, McHale? Still working for the Jerry.
He is not. He's an American naval officer.
And I'm a gypsy troubadour. La bruna.
Knock that off.
Sir, I have the commanders of the PT boats on the line right now.
This is your captain speaking. Now hear this. Gentlemen, we have a mission. You're to rendezvous 100 yards off of Point Lorenzo at 2100 hours. Those are direct orders from General Bronson. I don't want any arguments. Get underway immediately.
But please, Captain, please get those boats back. Look, there's something wrong with those orders. Look, why don't you check them out, sir?
Check them Why should I check them out? The orders came from General Bronson. Now, if you don't believe me, you can ask him. There you go. General Bronson.
Good work, Binghamton. I got your message. Now, where are those spies you captured? I want to get them over to G2 immediately.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, General. Here they are. Look at that.
That's fine. We'll take them right up. McHale, Parker, they're your spies? Binghamton, have you gone out of your mind? Release these men.
Oh, no, General. They're spies. I've got the evidence. See, underneath those uniforms, they're just as German as sauerkraut.
Now, wait a minute. I'm as American as apple pie.
And I'm as Italian as pizza. LeBron.
Who is this man?
Shut up. Not you, General. I mean, him.
Carpenter, release these men. That's an order.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
General, well, you can't release them. So, I tell you, they're spies, General. I've got the evidence. All 4 of them.
His face turning a shade of purple usually reserved for poison berries. He slammed a requisition form onto his desk. Garter belts. Barnaby, you are the logistics officer of this godforsaken island. If the medical staff requires lace-trimmed tactical garter belts, you snap to it, shake a leg, or whatever it is people do when they aren't sabotaging my career. Lieutenant Bumble Barnaby, a man whose uniform always seemed 3 sizes too large, and whose glasses were thick enough to repel small arms fire, recoiled. Sir, I believe there was a clerical error in the shipment from HQ. Instead of Kevlar vests, we received, well, lingerie and slingshots. I don't care if they need silk-lined parachutes for their egos, Vane bellowed. Then, his voice dropped to a terrified whisper. General Iron Jaws Sterling is arriving today for a surprise inspection. If he sees the state of this base, if he sees Thorne's men running around in Hawaiian shirts, I'm a dead man. Vane grabbed a bottle of antacids and downed them like they were candy. His stomach was a war zone. The sinks in the VIP lounge are backed up, the petty officers are running a black market daiquiri stand, and Thorne is probably out there right now harpooning endangered tuna. Actually, sir, Barnaby squeaked, Captain Thorne is currently helping the staff with a cultural exchange program. Vane stared at the ceiling. If I were sick, if I were truly medically incapacitated, I wouldn't have to face the general. I could appoint an acting commander, someone to take the fall, someone to be the sacrificial lamb. A slow, wicked grin spread across Vane's face. Barnaby recognized that look. It was the look of a man who had decided to commit professional suicide, but only if he could drag everyone else into the grave with him. Barnaby, call Thorne. Tell him I'm dying. Tell him the Azure fever has taken me. He's going to be the acting base commander. Let's see how his cutthroats handle the Iron Jaws when the payroll goes missing. Chapter 2. The King of the Sea Dogs. Captain Julian Joka Thorne sat on the deck of the Wahoo, a decommissioned patrol boat that looked more like a floating junkyard. His crew, a collection of technical geniuses, professional gamblers, and men who had forgotten how to button a shirt, were currently engaged in a high-stakes game of alligator roulette with a local reptile they had named Rex. Thorne, the Commodore is down, Barnaby shouted as he stumbled onto the pier. It's the big one. He's hallucinating. He's appointed you as acting base commander. Thorne lowered his sunglasses. Acting commander? No catch. He's in the infirmary, gasping for air. He said, and I quote, Thorne is the only man with the charisma to lead us through this dark hour. He even made me his acting executive officer. Barnaby stood up straight, nearly tripping over his own boots. Thorne smirked. He knew Vane was up to something, but the opportunity was too good to pass up. Well, men, you heard the man. Pack up the daiquiri machine. We're moving into the big office. We have an inspection to facilitate. Within an hour, Thorne's crew had transformed the command center. The rigorous filing systems were replaced with hammocks. The strategic maps were covered with where to find the best coconut charts. What idea? Thorne sat behind Vane's mahogany desk, his feet up, sipping from a hollowed-out pineapple. Thorne, what is the meaning of this? Vane's voice crackled over the intercom from his hospital bed. I can hear steel drums through the ventilation. Just maintaining morale, Silas. Relax. Your blood pressure is the real enemy here. The general is landing in 20 minutes. If there isn't a single person in a proper uniform, I will hunt you from the brig. Thorn looked at his team. You heard the man. Get the uniforms ready. And someone find those garter belts. I have a feeling they're going to be the hit of the inspection. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Slingshot. Just as Thorn was settling into his new role, a distress signal arrived. A private jet carrying the Sultan of Kamir, the island's primary financial backer, had made an emergency landing on a nearby sandbar. We need a rescue mission, Barnaby cried. If we save the Sultan, Vane might actually forgive us for the time we accidentally painted his jeep pink. Thorn and the sea dogs raced out on the Wahoo. They found the Sultan, a man draped in gold and wearing a perpetual look of boredom, standing on a pile of designer luggage. Beside him were his 3 daughters, actually high-end security detail dressed in traditional robes that Thorn suspected were mostly for show. Greetings, O exalted ruler, Thorn said, offering a casual salute. I'm Captain Thorn. We're here to give you a lift. A lift? In this bucket of rust? The Sultan asked. My cargo is priceless. My daughters are delicate. Don't worry, Your Highness. Thorn winked. We're the elite of the Azure Shield. Barnaby, help the ladies with their trunks. The ride back was chaotic. One of the daughters accidentally triggered a flare gun, and Barnaby spent most of the trip trying to explain that. Wow, 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 was an American greeting of high respect. By the time they reached the base, the Sultan was convinced Thorn was a tactical genius, while Barnaby was convinced he was going to be executed. Meanwhile, back at the infirmary, Vane was losing his mind. He had spotted a daughter through his binoculars and was convinced Thorn was running a harem on base. I've got him now, Vane cackled, clutching his hospital gown. He's human trafficking. The general will have him hanged by his shoelaces. Chapter 4. Nitrous and Nonsense. The tension on the base was reaching a boiling point. To soften up the general before the inspection, Thorn's crew decided they needed a little extra help. They had managed to liberate a tank from the dental clinic, believing it to be a new type of high-pressure cleaning gas for the sinks. Just spray it in Vane's office, Thorn instructed. It'll clear the air and make everyone feel refreshed. What they didn't realize was that the tank was filled with 100 proof nitrous oxide laughing gas. Commodore Vane, desperate to catch Thorn in the act, sneaked into his own office through the window. He was met with a face full of the gas. Suddenly, his ulcers didn't hurt. Suddenly, the world was a hilarious joke. Ha, 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 Barnaby, Vane shouted, stumbling out onto the balcony. You're a beautiful little butterfly. And Thorn, you're my best friend in the whole wide world. Let's go swimming. Let's all wear garter belts and dance for the general. General Sterling arrived at that exact moment. He was a man with a jawline that could cut diamonds and a personality like a frozen slab of granite. He walked onto the tarmac to find the base commodore giggling like a schoolgirl and trying to hug a palm tree. Vane? The general barked. What in the name of the Pentagon is going on here? Conquitamanna. 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 Oh, General Iron Jaws, Vane squealed, pinching the general's cheek. You have such pretty eyes. Have you met my friend Rex? He's an alligator. But he's very misunderstood. Siasele. Thorn stepped in, trying to maintain his composure. General, I'm afraid the Commodore is suffering from acute tropical euphoria. It's quite contagious. We've had to take over command to ensure base security. The general looked at Vane, then at Thorn, then at the Sultan, who was currently teaching the sea dogs how to play high-stakes poker in the mess hall. I've seen combat in 3 continents, Thorn, but I've never seen a base run by a laughing hyena and a pirate, explained the alligator. Chapter 5. The Case of the Missing Millions. Just as the general was about to sign the court-martial papers for the entire base, the unthinkable happened. The payroll $62 million in cold, hard, unmarked cash disappeared. Barnaby had been tasked with picking it up from the transport plane. I had it, Skip, I swear. I was walking past the lagoon, and I stopped to look at a very attractive uncle. I mean, a bird. and when I woke up, the bag was gone. Woke up? Thorne asked. You were knocked out? I think the ankle did it. She was wearing a green dress. No. Blue. And she had a birthmark, shaped like a heart, on her right leg. The base went into a frenzy. The general gave them 1 hour to find the money, or he'd have the entire Sea Dog crew shipped to a maximum security prison in the Arctic. It's Rex, Thorne realized. The alligator. He loves the smell of canvas. I bet he borrowed the payroll. Vane, still partially under the influence of the laughing gas, joined the hunt. Rexy! Come to Papa. I have a $60 million snack for you. They found the alligator near an old, rusted cannon at the edge of the base. Rex was guarding a large canvas bag with his life. Every time they approached, he hissed. I'll get it, Barnaby cried, trying to use a peanut butter sandwich as a lure. Rex, it's me, Barnaby. The alligator lunged, and Barnaby fell into the lagoon. In the chaos, Vane accidentally tripped the firing mechanism of the old cannon. Boom! The cannon, which hadn't been fired since the 1950s, erupted. Instead of a cannonball, it rained $20 bills across the entire base. It turned out the theft was a misunderstanding. The bag had been caught in the cannon's muzzle during a previous cleanup attempt by Thorne's men, and Rex had simply been trying to protect his treasure. Chapter 6. The Final Tally. General Sterling stood in the middle of a blizzard of cash, watching as Commodore Vane tried to eat $100 bill. The Sultan was laughing. The daughters were taking selfies with the alligator, and Thorne was casually lighting a cigar with a burning requisition form. Well, Thorne, the general sighed, brushing money off his shoulder. Your methods are unorthodox. Your crew is a disgrace. Your Commodore is a lunatic. But, General, Thorne smiled. Did we, or did we not, save the Sultan, recover the payroll, and maintain a 100% satisfaction rating among the medical staff regarding their garter belts? The general looked at the Sultan, who gave a thumbs up. He looked at Vane, who was now asleep in a hammock. I'm promoting you to acting base commander. Permanently, Sterling said. Because I'm not sure the real Navy could handle you, and I'm sending Vane to a wellness retreat in Switzerland. Far, far away from any nitrous oxide. Thorne saluted. Understood, General. Barnaby, get the general a drink. And make it a double. We have a base to run. As the general's plane took off, Thorne looked out over his island kingdom. Rex the alligator was sunning himself on the pier. The sinks were finally unblocked, and the sea dogs were already planning their next cultural exchange. Wow, 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 Thorne whispered to himself. What a war. Epilogue. The aftermath. Weeks later, a letter arrived at the base. It was from Vane, postmarked from a high-altitude spa. Dear Thorne, the doctors say I'm doing better. I only see the alligator in my dreams now. However, I've just received the bill for the tactical slingshots you ordered in my name. I hope you choke on a pineapple. Fondly. But not really. Silas. Thorne tossed the letter into the lagoon. Barnaby walked by, wearing a new pair of tactical glasses and carrying a fresh crate of supplies. What's in the box, Bumble? Garter belts. Skip. The nurses said the last batch wasn't tactical enough. This time, they're camo-patterned. Thorne laughed, the sound echoing across the blue lagoon. On Isla de Trujanes, the sun was shining, the money was accounted for. And for the first time in history, it was, indeed, a very happy illness, the chaos of Azure Outpost. A tale of miscreants and mandates. Chapter I. The Garter Belt Ultimatum. Commodore Sterling Vane was a man whose blood pressure could be measured by the visible vibration of his pencil-thin mustache. He stood in the center of his mahogany-decked office at Azure Outpost 7, clutching a supply manifest as if it were a declaration of war. Wow, Vane whispered, his voice trembling with a terrifying blend of awe and fury. Wow, wow, wow. Across from him stood Lieutenant Silas Thorne, a man whose spine was so stiff it was rumored he slept standing up in a locker. Garter belts, Thorne, Vane exploded, slamming the paper onto his desk. I am the commanding officer of the most strategic maritime security outpost in the Sapphire Sea, and I am being interrogated by the nursing staff about garter belts. Do you realize the logistical nightmare of procurement in a combat zone? The nurses are quite insistent, sir, Thorne replied, his eyes fixed on a point exactly 3 inches above the Commodore's head. They say without proper hosiery support, morale in the infirmary will collapse. Then snap to it, Vane shrieked. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. My life is a tragedy of trivialities. I have the weight of the entire archipelago on my shoulders. And what do I get? Clogged sinks in the petty officers' club and requests for lace-trimmed elastic. The phone on Vane's desk rang with the persistence of a hungry mosquito. He snatched it up. I am a leader of men, not a clearer of pipes. Vane slammed the phone down and reached for a bottle of antacids, popping them like candy. My stomach acid could start a diesel engine, Thorne. Please, tell me there is no more bad news. Actually, sir, Thorne whispered, I just got a message from headquarters. Admiral Iron Grip Sterling is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Vane froze. His face turned a shade of white, usually reserved for expensive stationery. Iron Grip? Here? Now? Look at this place. It's a circus. It's a den of iniquity. If he sees the state of the barracks, he'll have my stripes for breakfast. Vane gripped his stomach, a genuine look of agony crossing his face. Thorne, I feel a malaise, a sudden debilitating tropical ague. I couldn't possibly face the Admiral, could I? A slow, predatory grin spread across Vane's face. And if I am incapacitated, I must appoint an acting commander, someone so incompetent, so utterly disastrous, that they will destroy themselves in front of the Admiral. Someone like Captain Mac Sterling and his band of maritime gypsies. Chapter 2. The Acting Commander's Reign. Captain Mac Sterling was currently occupied with a much more important task than maritime security. He was trying to convince a local pirate to recite the odds of a 3-horse race. His crew, the Azure Pirates, were lounged around the deck of the Revenge, a refurbished interceptor that looked like it was held together by spit, prayer, and stolen grey paint. Mac! Vane's voice crackled over the bass speakers. To the infirmary. Immediately. When Mac arrived, he found Vane draped over a hospital bed, looking like a Victorian heroine with a particularly bad case of the vapors. Thorne stood by, dabbing Vane's forehead with a damp cloth. Mac. Vane groaned, his voice a pathetic wheeze. The doctors. They don't know. It could be anything. A rare coral fever. I am in bad shape. Mac leaned over, squinting at the Commodore. You look fine to me, sir. Maybe a bit of indigestion from those spicy meat pies? Silence. Vane hissed, then immediately resumed his groan. I am appointing you acting base commander, Mac. And your junior officer, Percy Pringle, will be your acting executive officer. Percy, a man who could trip over a shadow in an empty room, beamed with pride. Oh boy, did you hear that, Captain? I'm an exec. You won't regret this, sir. Van buried his face in his pillow to hide his laughter. I know I won't. Now get out. Command the base. Take my office. Just stay away from me. As Mac and Percy exited, Mac shook his head. Percy, I don't like it. Vane giving us power is like a wolf giving a sheep a set of steak knives. There's a catch. The catch manifested within 30 minutes. Mac found himself behind the mahogany desk, staring at a ringing phone. Hello? Mac here. The sinks? Look, tell the boys to use the ocean. I've got a war to run. What? Garter belts? Yes, we found them. Percy, get those garter belts to the nurses' quarters. And someone tell the construction crew to stop building the rifle range in the middle of the mess hall. Chaos descended. Percy, trying to be naval, began authorizing permits for everything, from a clandestine distillery to a morale-boosting hula festival. By the time the afternoon sun hit the yard, Outpost 7 had transformed from a military installation into a cross between a Vegas casino and a tropical luau. Chapter 3. The Archduke and the Three Princesses. The Admiral's arrival was delayed, but in his place came a more exotic problem. A luxury seaplane touched down in the lagoon, bearing the Archduke Karim of Malvanis and his 3 daughters. "I am Karim, the Archduke," announced as he stepped onto the dock, draped in silks that cost more than Mac's entire boat. "I seek the protection of the Azure Outpost. My cargo is priceless, and my daughters are the jewels of the Malvanis crown." Mac, wearing his dress whites, which were mostly white, bowed. "Welcome, Your Highness. I'm Captain Mac Sterling. My crew is at your service." "Wowie, wow, wow," Percy exclaimed, staring at the 3 princesses. "I mean, greetings, your ladyships." "Ah," the Archduke bristled. "Does this young man dare to debase the dignity of my daughters with such bird-like squawking? In Malvanis, we execute for less. He's just excited, sir." Mac intervened, kicking Percy in the shin. "It's a traditional greeting of the Sapphire Sea. It means, 'May your sails be full of jasmine.'" The Archduke seemed mollified, though suspicious. To ensure their comfort, Mac moved them into the VIP quarters. However, the Azure Pirates had already begun their morale festival in the nearby bunkers. Word reached the infirmary where Vane was convalescing. "Sir," Thorne whispered, "the Archduke is here, and Mac has turned the base into a Roman orgy. There are hula dancers in the air raid shelters. This is it. The Admiral is 5 minutes out. We can unmask the chaos." Vane leapt out of bed, miraculously cured. "Thorne, get my uniform. We shall lead the Admiral directly to the air raid shelter." "Mac is finished. Caput. Finito." But Vane's plan hit a snag. As he rushed toward the office, he ran headlong into the Archduke's daughters, who were wandering the base. To Vane's horror, one of the girls was missing. She had sneaked off with one of Mac's crew for a moonlit boat ride. "Where is my daughter Siri?" the Archduke roared, finding Vane in the hallway. Vane, panicking, pointed toward the laundry shack. She's probably participating in the cultural exchange." "Sir," he burst into the laundry shack, expecting to find Mac and a hidden princess. Instead, he found Percy Pringle wearing a grass skirt and a coconut bra, practicing a hula routine for the upcoming show. The Admiral, who had just walked in behind Vane, stared in stony silence. "Binghamton. I mean, Vane," the Admiral growled. "Is this your idea of a strategic defense? Your executive officer in drag?" "Admiral, please," Vane pleaded. "He's a hallucinatory madman. Mac drugged me. The hula girls are in the bunker." They ran to the bunker. They threw open the doors. It was empty. Mac had moved the entire party to the Revenge and sailed it into the mist just minutes prior. Vane stood in the empty bunker, pointing at nothing, looking very much like a man who had finally lost his mind. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Gambit. Vane was desperate. The Admiral had put him on probation, and Mac was still somehow the base hero. Vane decided to double down. He would convene a fitness board to have Percy Pringle stripped of his rank for the hula incident. "He's a menace, Thorne," Vane shouted. "I'll break him down to a seaman second class so fast his head will spin." Mac, hearing of the impending board, knew they had to soften the Commodore. "We need him in a good mood," Mac told his crew. "And I know just the thing. When I was at the dentist yesterday, they used this stuff. Nitrous oxide. Laughing gas. If Vane is hysterical with joy, he'll cancel the board." The crew managed to divert a tank of the gas from the medical supply and piped it directly into the ventilation of Vane's office. Vane was sitting at his desk, scowling at Percy's personnel file, when the gas began to hiss through the vents. Thorne was standing by, looking grim. "Thorne," Vane said, his voice suddenly sounding light, "do you find the word torpedo funny?" "Sir?" Thorne asked, confused. "Torpedo. Vane erupted into a giggle. It's such a round, bubbly word. Ha, ha ha ha. Thorne began to snicker as well. And garbage scout, sir. He hit a garbage scout? Ha ha. He thought it was a submarine, camouflaged with potato peels. Vane was now rolling on the floor, tears streaming down his face. Mac and Percy accidentally walked in. Captain, Mac cried. We just wanted to check in about the fitness board. Board? What board? Vane shrieked, clutching his stomach from laughter. Oh, Chucky Wacky. I love you, Chucky Wacky. You're a riot. Cancel the board. Promote him to admiral. Give him a medal made of chocolate. Vane stumbled out of the office, hugging every sailor he saw. He even tried to dance with a passing nurse. He's finally cracked, the sailors whispered. However, the gas began to wear off just as the board of inquiry arrived at the dock. Vane, suddenly sober and feeling a massive headache, realized he had been tricked. He saw Mac and Percy laughing, and his rage returned tenfold. You! I'll kill you! Vane screamed, chasing Percy around the jeep with a wrench. The admiral, watching from the balcony, shook his head. Vane is either drunk, insane, or both. And Pringle, look at him, standing his ground, while a madman attacks him. That boy has the heart of a combat officer. Chapter V. The Phantom Interceptor. To get Mac away from the base, Vane assigned the crew to a refurbished interceptor, the Phantom 13. It's a jinxed boat, Mac, Vane sneered. 2 crews have already vanished on it. Blown up. Eaten by sharks. It's perfect for you. The crew was terrified. They saw shadows in the rigging and heard moans in the bilge. Percy was convinced the boat was haunted by the ghosts of seamen past. It's a floating Jonah, Percy cried. We're doomed. Mac, ever the pragmatist, realized Vane had faked the jinx report. He decided to play along. One night, while Vane was gloating in his quarters, the crew rigged the Phantom 13 with hidden speakers and luminous paint. They sailed the boat silently into the harbor, looking like a glowing, skeletal apparition. Commodore Vane, a booming, otherworldly voice echoed across the water. We are the ghosts of the Phantom 13. We have come for your soul. Vane, who was secretly very superstitious, fell out of his chair. No, I didn't mean it. It was Thorne's idea. Take Thorne. Give us the transfer papers, the voice commanded. The papers that send us to the scrap heap, or we shall haunt your dreams with the scent of rotten seaweed forever. Vane scrambled to his safe, pulled out the transfer orders he had prepared to get rid of the crew, and threw them out the window into the lagoon. Take them! Just leave me alone! The ghost boat vanished into the night. The next morning, Mac presented the miraculously recovered papers to Vane, who was so shaken he signed a 3-month extension for the crew just to keep them from haunting him again. Chapter 6. The Neo-Caledonian Payday. The final straw came when Vane was tasked with picking up the base payroll from the central bank in Neo Caledonia. $62,000 in crisp, unmarked bills. I won't trust Mac with this, Vane told Thorne. We'll go ourselves. But we'll make it look like Mac lost it. It's the ultimate trap. Vane ordered Percy to pick up the money, planning to have Thorne hijack him along Saloon Road. But the plan went awry when Percy actually did get robbed by a local gang of bandits. They took it, Skip! Percy sobbed, holding a lump on his head. A girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle. She distracted me. And then wham! The money's gone. One. Mac realized they were all in deep trouble. If the payroll was gone, the admiral would have the entire base in the brig. We have to find that girl, Mac ordered. A frantic ankle inspection began. The sailors were chased out of cafes, slapped in markets, and nearly arrested by the local gendarmes. Meanwhile, Vane and Thorne were lurking in the bushes, hoping to find the money first so they could frame Mac for the theft. Suddenly, a massive alligator named Rex, a local legend, slid out of the swamp. In its mouth was a familiar canvas bag. The money, Vane whispered. Rex has the money. Thorne, get it. Me, sir. He's 12 feet of teeth and muscle. The chase was on. Vane, Thorne, Mac, and the pirates all converged on a clearing, where Rex was sunning himself. Easy, Sydney. I mean, Rex, Percy whispered, pulling out a peanut butter sandwich. Nice lizard. Have a snack. The alligator lunged for the sandwich, dropping the bag. Vanne dived for it, but the bag flew into the air and landed inside an old ceremonial cannon used for holiday celebrations. It's mine! Vanne shrieked, climbing onto the cannon. Just then, a local Zero fighter, left over from the old wars and flown by a confused stunt pilot, buzzed the clearing. Percy, in a panic, grabbed a torch and lit the fuse of the cannon, thinking he was firing back. Boom! The cannon roared. It didn't fire a shell. It fired $62,000 in cash. A literal rain of money descended upon the archipelago. Hundreds and fifties fluttered through the palm trees like green confetti. Vanne stood under the falling bills, weeping. My payroll, it's manna from heaven. The admiral arrived on the scene via helicopter just as the last $20 bill landed on his nose. Vanne, the admiral said, looking at the chaos. I suppose I should congratulate you on your efficiency? Mark leaned against a palm tree, lighting a cigar. Just another day at Azure Outpost, Admiral. We aim to please. Vanne looked at Mark, then at the alligator, then at the pile of cash. He slowly sat down in the sand and began to count. 1, 2, 3. And for once, the Sapphire Sea was quiet, save for the sound of a commodore losing his mind and a captain planning his next big win. The Sovereigns of Veridia, A Tale of Tropical Turmoil. Chapter 1. The Lingerie Logistics Lament. The sun over the Veridia archipelago didn't just shine. It punished. It was a thick, humid heat that turned military starch into wet noodles and transformed the temperament of Commander Wallace, the Walrus Sterling, into something resembling a boiling pressure cooker filled with vinegar. Commander Sterling sat behind a mahogany desk that was far too large for his cramped office in Outpost 7. He was currently staring at a requisition form that made his left eye twitch a rhythmic, spasming tick that his subordinates had learned to recognize as a precursor to a localized volcanic eruption. Garter belts, Sterling whispered, his voice trembling with a mixture of disbelief and fury. Major Finch, please tell me the supply manifests are being ghostwritten by a Parisian burlesque house. Major Arthur Finch, a man whose spine seemed to have been replaced by a wet pipe cleaner in the presence of his superior, snapped to attention. Actually, sir, the medical nurses on the South Ridge have been complaining about the standard issue hosiery. They claim the humidity causes. Well, slippage, Sterling roared, slamming his palms onto the desk. We are in the middle of a global conflict. We are the thin line between civilization and chaos on this godforsaken rock, and I am being asked to coordinate the structural integrity of stockings. Snap to it, Finch. If they need garter belts, find them, shake a leg, or you know what I mean. Don't make me explain the mechanics of it. Sterling slumped back, rubbing his temples. Everything is on my shoulders. Finch coughed nervously. Speaking of destiny, sir, I just intercepted a Priority 1 transmission from Sector Command. General Ironhide Graves is arriving this afternoon for a surprise inspection. The color drained from Sterling's face, leaving him a shade of gray that matched the battleship paint on the walls. General Graves was not a man. He was a force of nature with a buzz cut. He was known for two things: a lack of humor that was legally classified as a disability, and the ability to find a speck of dust in a vacuum. Ironhide. Here. Sterling fumbled for his antacid pills, his hand shaking so violently the bottle sounded like a maraca. This base is a disaster. The sinks in the officers' lounge are backing up. The recruits are running a clandestine crab racing ring, and the supply officer is currently hunting for garter belts. The phone on his desk shrieked. Sterling snatched it up. This is Commander Sterling. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas past? Listen, I don't care if the pipes are leaking into the gin reserves. I'm the commanding officer, not a sanitation engineer. Solve it. He slammed the phone down and swallowed 3 antacids dry. A slow, devious light began to flicker in Sterling's eyes. The light of a man who had found a way to throw someone else under a very large, very fast-moving bus. Major, Sterling whispered, do I look peaky to you? Peaky, sir? You look like you've been dead for 3 days and are just finding out about it. Perfect. If I am critically ill, I cannot undergo an inspection. I will need to appoint an acting base commander, someone expendable, someone whose career is already a smoking crater. Both men said the name at the same time. Captain Silas Thorne. Captain Silas Sly Thorne was the commander of the Rogue Squad, a group of sailors who treated the military code of conduct as a list of optional suggestions. Thorne was charming, brilliant, and possessed a supernatural ability to avoid court-martials. If Thorne is in charge when Graves arrives, Sterling chuckled, his voice raspy with malice, his cutthroats will turn this base into an orgy of incompetence. Graves will destroy Thorne, and I'll miraculously recover just in time to mourn his dismissal. Finch, call the medic. Scream, make it sound like I'm expiring. Chapter 2. The Accidental Governor. Captain Silas Thorne entered the medical ward with the casual swagger of a man who owned the island. Behind him trailed Lieutenant Barnaby Bumbles Pringle, a man whose primary contribution to the war effort was accidentally saluting with his left hand and tripping over flat surfaces. Commander, I heard you were at death's door, Thorne said, leaning over the bed where Sterling lay, draped in a silk robe and looking suspiciously well hydrated for a dying man. Oh, Thorne. It's the end. Sterling groaned, clutching his stomach. The medics. They don't know what it is. Tropical neurasthenia? Spontaneous combustion of the soul? I'm in bad shape. Bumbles Pringle leaned in, his eyes wide with concern. Can I adjust your pillow, sir? I read a book on comfort. Get away from me, Pringle. Sterling snapped, then immediately resumed his pathetic whimpering. Thorne, as I am incapacitated, I am appointing you acting base commander. And Pringle here, he'll be your acting executive officer. Bumbles beamed. Oh, boy! Did you hear that, Skipper? I'm an exec. I'll get a new clipboard. Thorne frowned. Commander, I'm a saltwater skipper. I don't belong behind a desk. I'm no good at logistics. That's an order, Thorne. Now get out. My fever is reaching levels that could melt lead. As Thorne and Bumbles exited, Thorne turned to his crew, who were waiting outside. There was Gruber, the man who could find anything for a price. Christopher, the helmsman who could steer through a hurricane while sleeping. And the rest of the Rogue Squad. All right, boys, Thorne sighed. Sterling wants us to run the shop. He thinks we're going to fail. Let's show him what a base looks like when the fun starts. Within 2 hours, Thorne's office was a hive of productivity. Exec Pringle here, Bumbles shouted into the phone. The garter belts? Yes, ma'am. We've localized the hosiery. We're sending them over via high-speed courier. And yes, I've authorized the construction of the new tiki bar. I mean, the strategic hydration station on the rifle range. Gruber burst in. Skip, the boys want to throw a little shindig. We've got a crate of medicinal rum and some hula dancers from the neighboring island. Full speed ahead, Gruber, Thorne laughed, leaning back in Sterling's chair. If the commander wants a base that runs itself, let's give him a base that parties itself. Chapter 3. The Ironhide Invasion. General Ironhide Graves did not arrive in a jeep. He arrived in a cloud of dust and discipline. He was accompanied by Major Finch and a very sick Sterling, who was watching from a wheelchair, hidden behind a palm tree, waiting for the explosion. Thorne has turned this place into a Roman orgy, Sterling whispered to Finch. Look, there are girls in grass skirts, heading into the air raid shelter. Graves will have him executed by sunset. Graves stepped out of his vehicle, his eyes scanning the horizon like a hawk. Thorne met him with a crisp, perfect salute. Welcome to Veridia, General. Acting Commander Thorne, at your service. Thorne, Graves barked. I heard Sterling was dying. He looks remarkably mobile from here. A miracle of modern science, sir, Thorne said smoothly. Sterling, realizing he had been spotted, wheeled himself forward. General, you must see the air raid shelter. It's disgraceful. Thorne has stashed hula girls in there. At this very minute, Graves looked at Thorne. Girls? Thorne? Commander Sterling is delirious, sir, Thorne said, calmly. Combat fatigue. He's been seeing hallucinations for days. He thinks the laundry room is a casino, and the nurses are a dance troupe. I am not hallucinating, Sterling screamed. Finch, back me up, the garter belts. The dancers, the rum. At that moment, Bumbles Pringle ran out of the laundry shack, wearing a lei around his neck and carrying a tray of pineapple drinks. He saw the general and froze. Ah, fire drill, sir. 100% success, Bumbles shouted, then turned and ran back into the building. Graves turned his icy gaze to Sterling. Commander, you are wearing a seaman's uniform under your robe. You are screaming about hula girls, and your executive officer is performing fire drills with fruit punch. Thorne, take this man back to the hospital. He's clearly suffered a total mental collapse. No, I'm saying it's Thorne. He's the one. Sterling was dragged away, kicking and screaming, while Thorne gave the general a wink. Chapter 4. The Sovereign and the Cybercroc. A week later, Sterling had been released from the psychiatric ward, mostly because the doctors couldn't stand his whining. He was back in command, but Thorne and the rogue squad were still his primary obsession. Sir, Finch announced, we have a diplomatic crisis. The Sovereign of Solara is arriving. He's a key ally, and he's bringing his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Sunday. Sterling stood tall. This is it, Finch. A chance to show my true class. We will host a grand dinner. No Thorne. No rogue squad. Just pure, unadulterated dignity. But the Sovereign, a man who loved high-speed boats as much as he loved gold, had already met Thorne. Thorne had rescued the Sovereign after his plane made an emergency landing near the Forbidden Lagoon. Commander Thorne is a hero, the Sovereign declared upon arrival. He let me steer his vessel. It was amusing, like a chicken. Sterling forced a smile. Yes, we are very proud of Silas. He's our resident eccentric. The Sovereign's daughters were indeed beautiful, but they were also curious. One of them, Princess Siri, had taken a particular liking to Bumbles Pringle, who had told her he was a decorated war hero who lost his medals in a daring shark wrestling match. While Sterling was trying to impress the Sovereign with a boring lecture on fortifications, Bumbles had snuck Princess Siri out for a secret reconnaissance mission on the 73 boat. The disaster was inevitable. Skip! The engines conked out. Bumbles yelled into the radio from the middle of the lagoon. And Princess Siri is stuck here with me. If the Sovereign finds out, he'll turn me into a kebab. Back at the base, the grand dinner was starting. Where is my daughter? The Sovereign asked, his voice low and dangerous. Thorne stepped in. She is dressing, Your Highness. A complex, solaric ritual. It takes hours. Sterling, suspicious as always, barged into the princess's quarters. He found 2 of Thorne's crewmen, Gruber and Christopher, dressed in spare silk gowns and veils, attempting to perform a traditional dance to stall for time. You, Sterling screamed, ripping the veil off Gruber. You're a phony. You're a torpedo man with a beard. The Sovereign stood up, his face purple with rage. You dare insult my daughters by suggesting they are bearded sailors. This is an outrage. I will raise this island to the ground. Hella flyna lay. No, Thorne managed to calm the Sovereign down, just as Bumbles returned with the real Princess Siri, claiming they had been inspecting the local marine biology for the Sovereign's safety. Sterling was left standing in the middle of the room, holding a fake veil and looking like a man who had finally lost the last of his marbles. Chapter 5. The Laughing Gas Lament. I've got him this time, Finch, Sterling whispered, clutching a dental report. Lieutenant Pringle is a liability. I'm convening a fitness board. One look at his record torpedoing a garbage scow, shooting down a target drone by mistake, and he's out of the Navy. Thorne and the crew were desperate. They needed Sterling in a good mood. The dental clinic just got a fresh shipment of nitrous oxide, Thorne told the rogue squad. Laughing gas. If we can get Sterling to inhale a bit of it, he'll be so happy he'd promote a rock to admiral. The plan involved a fake pest control operation. Thorne and his men arrived at Sterling's office with a tank and sprayers. Commander, The frangipani flies are invading, Thorne shouted. We have to spray the office. Breathe deeply, sir. It's for your own protection. They blasted the room with the gas. Within seconds, Sterling's scowl began to soften. A giggle escaped his lips. Then, a roar of laughter. Chucky wucky, Sterling squealed, pinching Bumbles Pringle's cheek. You silly little goose. You torpedoed a garbage scow? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Give me a hug. Sterling ran out of his office, dancing and skipping. He encountered General Graves, who had returned for a follow-up. Wally? What is the meaning of this? Graves asked, watching the commander attempt to play leapfrog with a sentry. General, you old stick in the mud. Sterling laughed, slapping Graves on the back. Have a pineapple. Life is a carnival. He's finally snapped. Graves whispered to Thorne. The stress of the archipelago has broken him. Just then, a real air raid began. A lone enemy scout plane appeared on the horizon. Bumbles Pringle, still slightly affected by the gas, stumbled toward a deck gun. He aimed at the cloud, slipped, and accidentally pulled the trigger. The shell streaked across the sky and hit the enemy plane directly in the fuel tank. It exploded in a spectacular fireball. Domanislai, Domanislai. Graves was stunned. Magnificent. Pringle, you stood laughing in the face of death and took down the enemy with a single shot. You are a hero. Sterling, coming down from the gas, looked at the burning wreckage. Nonsense, Sterling? Graves barked. Pringle is the finest combat officer I've seen. And you need a long rest in a padded room. Chapter 6. The credit core crack up. The final blow to Sterling's sanity came during the great payroll crisis. The base's electronic credit core, a wallet containing $62,000 in untraceable digital credits, had been lost. Sterling, convinced Thorne had stolen it, set a trap. He accidentally dropped a physical backup wallet in the jungle, filled with marked bills, waiting for the rogue squad to take the bait. However, the archipelago was home to Sydney, a massive, ancient saltwater alligator who had developed a taste for human accessories and Bumbles Pringles peanut butter sandwiches. Sydney found the wallet. Sydney ate the wallet. He ate the commander. Bumbles screamed, running into the mess hall. Sydney has Thorne's ID card in his mouth. He's digested the military-industrial complex. Sterling was ecstatic. The evidence. It's in the alligator. We'll have a court-martial. I'll put the alligator on the stand. The courtroom was a circus. Sterling stood as the prosecutor. He's cold-blooded. Thorne stood up. I object. You can't call Sydney shifty. He's had an unhappy childhood. He's a victim of the system. Order! The judge advocate shouted. This is a naval base, not a reptile sanctuary. At that moment, Bumbles Pringle entered, leading Sydney on a very thick chain, lured by a massive jar of extra crunchy peanut butter. The wallet, sir, Bumbles shouted. Sydney, returned it. He held up the muddy, slime-covered wallet. Wait, sir, Thorne said calmly. Check the serial numbers. Those aren't marked bills. That's the actual base payroll that was lost in the lagoon a week ago. Finch checked the numbers. Thorne was right. The rogue squad hadn't stolen the money. The alligator had found the lost payroll and donated it back to the Navy. So, Thorne smiled. Not only did we find the missing money, but we've also domesticated the local wildlife. I believe that deserves a commendation. Sterling looked at the money, then at the alligator, then at the smiling Thorne. He felt a familiar burning sensation in his stomach. Why? Sterling whispered to the ceiling. Why me? Why is it always me? Chapter 7. The final salvo. A few days later, the base was finally quiet. General Graves had left. Pringle was a hero, and Thorne was once again the king of the island. Sterling sat in his office, staring at a single garter belt that had been left on his desk as a parting gift from the rogue squad. The phone rang. Sterling here, he said, his voice defeated. Wally? It's Graves. Listen, I've been thinking about that alligator. We're making him the official mascot of the archipelago. And Thorn. Wene. We're promoting him to liaison to the Solaric Sovereign. Sterling didn't even scream. He just slowly lowered the phone and looked out the window. In the distance, he could see the 73 boats speeding away toward a nearby island, the sounds of laughter and music drifting across the water. Bumbles Pringle was on the deck, waving a peanut butter sandwich at a following alligator. Thorn was at the helm, a cigar in his mouth, looking at the horizon. Sterling picked up his bottle of antacids, found it empty, and began to chew on his mahogany desk. It was just another Friday on Veridia Prime. At the end, The Chaos of Nebula K, a novel of tropical turmoil. Chapter 1, The Garter Belt Crisis. Commodore Barnaby Bluster was a man whose blood pressure lived in a state of permanent architectural defiance. He stood in the center of the command bungalow on Nebula K, a sun-drenched, palm-fringed archipelago that served as the primary headquarters for the Azure Coast Privateer Alliance, and let out a sound that resembled a steam kettle exploding in a library. "Wow," Bluster whispered, his face turning a shade of magenta that usually signaled an imminent meteorological event. "Wow, wow, wow. Garter belts, silvers. We are in the middle of a global security crisis. And you are telling me about garter belts?" His sycophantic adjutant, Lieutenant Sterling Silvers, adjusted his perfectly creased uniform and nodded nervously. "The medical nurses were quite firm, sir. They said if the supply chain doesn't provide the requested air, structural hosiery, they will go on strike." "Snap to it," Bluster roared, nearly vibrating out of his polished loafers. "If they need garter belts, you shake a leg. I mean, don't literally shake yours, you idiot. Just get them. Everything is on my shoulders. The war, the logistics, the plumbing, and now the lingerie of the Pacific." Nebula K was supposed to be a strategic jewel. Instead, it was a chaotic playground for the Grey Ghosts, a crew of high seas privateers, led by Captain Lucky Maverick, while Bluster obsessed over military discipline and the shine on his buttons. Maverick and his men were busy turning the base into a tropical resort, complete with a thriving black market for pineapple moonshine and a gambling ring involving hermit crabs. The phone on Bluster's desk shrieked. He snatched it up. "Bluster here. Who is this? Tokyo Rose? If this is about the Petty Officers Club sinks backing up again, I am a Commodore, not a plumber. Fix it yourself." He slammed the phone down and reached for a bottle of white pills. "My stomach acid could start a cold engine, Silvers. I can feel it. It's the stress. It's the incompetence. It's the fact that Iron Jaw Jackson is coming." Silvers froze. "High Commander Iron Jaw Jackson? The man who court-martialed his own mother for having a dusty mantle?" "The same," Bluster groaned, clutching his stomach. "He's arriving today for a sneak inspection. Look at this place. The sinks are overflowing. The men are wearing Hawaiian shirts under their flak jackets. And Captain Maverick is probably hosting a luau on the beach as we speak." Suddenly, a bulb of pure, devious inspiration lit up in Bluster's frantic mind. "Wait. If I were sick, truly, medically incapacitated, I wouldn't have to face Jackson. I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the fall, someone to be the sacrificial lamb." Silvers blinked. "But who, sir? Who is incompetent enough to satisfy your need for a scapegoat?" Bluster's eyes gleamed with a predatory light. "Not you, Silvers. You're too small a fish. I'm thinking of Maverick, Captain Lucky Maverick. If I put him and his band of cutthroats in charge, they'll run wild. They'll turn the base into an orgy of indiscipline right in front of Iron Jaw Jackson. Maverick will be ruined. The crew will be in the brig, and I'll be safely tucked away in the infirmary, claiming a case of tropical giggles, or whatever the doctor calls it." "Brilliant, sir," Silvers chirped. "You do look quite peaky, actually." "Call the medics!" Bluster yelled, collapsing dramatically into his chair. "I'm dying." I can feel the end. Hurry, before I recover. Chapter 2. The New Commander. Captain Maverick was currently engaged in the very serious business of teaching a parrot how to whistle the national anthem of a country that didn't exist when the summons arrived. Beside him, his executive officer, Lieutenant Percy Puddles, was trying to fix a radio with a piece of chewing gum and a prayer. "The Commodore wants us in the infirmary." "Skip," Puddles said, looking worried. "You don't think he found out about the moonshine still in the fuel tanks, do you?" "Puddles, if the Commodore knew about the still, we'd hear the screaming from here," Maverick said, adjusting his aviators. "Let's go see what the old windbag wants." They arrived at the infirmary to find Bluster propped up on silk pillows, looking like a man who had seen a ghost and didn't like its fashion sense. "McHale. Maverick," Bluster wheezed. "I'm in bad shape. The doctors, they've never seen anything like it. It's executive fatigue. I have to step down temporarily." "Gee, sir, that's tough," Maverick said, trying to hide his grin. "Silvers will do a great job as acting commander." "No," Bluster barked, then winced as if the sound hurt his soul. "Silvers is a boob. I'm appointing you, Maverick. You're the acting base commander. And Puddles, here, he's the acting executive officer of the whole K." Puddles dropped his hat. "Me? Sir, I can't even lead a horse to water without getting my foot stuck in the bucket. It's an order," Bluster yelled, then slumped back. "Now get out. Go to my office. Take command. My life is in your hands." As Maverick and Puddles walked toward the command bungalow, Puddles was vibrating with excitement. "Did you hear that, Skip? I'm the exec. I'm going to be firm. I'm going to be military. I'm going to... Oh, I've got my spurs on backward." Maverick sighed. "This is a trap, Puddles. Bluster wants us to mess up. But he forgot one thing. We're already messing up. We just have to do it officially now." The next 3 hours were a whirlwind of administrative insanity. The phone didn't stop ringing. "Yes, this is Acting Commander Maverick," Maverick said into the receiver. "Garter belts?" "Yes, we found them. They're being delivered to the nurses by jet ski." "No, don't worry about the color. Tell them pink is the new tactical 10. Meanwhile, Puddles was on the other line. "Executive Officer Puddles here." "What?" "The construction crew is building a bar in the middle of the rifle range. Tell them to keep their heads down. Kane. It builds character." By the time the sun began to dip, the base had transformed. Maverick's crew had taken Bluster's full speed ahead order literally. They had opened a gambling tent next to the motor pool. The hula dancers from the local village were rehearsing in the air raid shelter, and the supply officer was trading ammunition for luxury steaks. "Skip," Puddles whispered, peering through binoculars. "Iron Jaw, Jackson's plane just landed. He's on his way over in a jeep." Maverick looked at the base. Half the men were in sarongs. There was music blaring from the laundry shack, and a pig was wearing a naval officer's cap. "Puddles," Maverick said calmly, "we might be in a bit of a griddle." Chapter 3. The Archduke and the Princesses. The chaos of Iron Jaw, Jackson's inspection was miraculously averted when a more pressing matter arrived, a diplomatic emergency. The Archduke of Horizon, a fabulously wealthy ruler of a nearby island chain, had been forced to make an emergency landing on a remote strip near Nebula Cay. Maverick, still acting as commander, personally led the rescue mission on their high-speed patrol boat, the Spectral 73. "Greetings, Your Highness," Maverick said as the Archduke climbed aboard, followed by his 3 stunning daughters. "I am Captain Maverick. We're here to escort you to safety." The Archduke, a man of immense dignity and even larger jewelry, looked around the Spectral 73. "A fine craft, Captain. But tell me, are these men to be trusted?" "They look colorful. They're the best in the business, sir." Maverick lied smoothly. Suddenly, a loud thump echoed from the back of the boat. Puddles had tripped over a crate of pineapples and landed at the feet of the youngest princess, Siri. "Wowee," Puddles breathed, looking up at her. "Wow. The Archduke's face darkened. "Is he Debasing the dignity of the princesses with chicken noises? No, sir. Maverick jumped in. In our country, that's a traditional greeting of deep respect. It signifies. How charming, the Archduke said, though he didn't look convinced. Back at the base, Bluster had heard about the Archduke's arrival and decided he was cured enough to host a grand dinner. He wanted the Archduke's favor, and more importantly, he wanted to catch Maverick in a scandal. Maverick is hiding something, Bluster hissed to Silvers. I know it. He's got girls hidden somewhere, probably in the air raid shelter. The dinner was a disaster of epic proportions. To distract the Archduke from the fact that Puddles was accidentally drinking the fingerbowl water, Maverick had arranged for a traditional dance. However, the dancers were actually Maverick's crew, in grass skirts and wigs, as the actual dancers had been caught in a rainstorm. Bluster, convinced he had found the hidden girls, stormed onto the makeshift stage during the performance. I've got you now, you phony Balinese bunnies, he screamed, grabbing the wig off the lead dancer. It was Gruber, the crew's burly mechanic, wearing a coconut bra. The Archduke stood up, trembling with rage. You insult my culture? You make a mockery of my daughter's presence with this bearded woman? Sir, I can explain, Bluster stammered. I thought he was a princess. I thought the princess was him. Enough, the Archduke roared. I shall report this to the High Command. Nebula K is a madhouse. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Lament. Following the Archduke's departure, Bluster was in a murderous mood. He had decided to convene a fitness board to officially strip Puddles of his rank and send Maverick to a penal colony in the Arctic. You're finished, Puddles, Bluster yelled. I'm bringing in the fitness board tomorrow. They'll break you down to a deck swabber so fast your head will spin. The crew huddled in Maverick's shack. We gotta do something, Skip, Gruber said. If that board meets, we're all sunk. I have an idea, Maverick said, a slow smile spreading across his face. Puddles, you remember your trip to the dentist yesterday? That new painkiller they used? The nitrous oxide? Puddles asked. The stuff that made me think the Commodore was a giant marshmallow? Exactly, Maverick said. If we can get a tank of that gas into Bluster's office through the ventilation system just before the board starts, he'll be in such a good mood he'll cancel the whole thing. The plan was executed with military precision, or at least Maverick's version of it. As the stern members of the fitness board arrived, Gruber pumped the laughing gas into the Commodore's bungalow. Inside, Bluster began to giggle. Silvers, Bluster chirped, his voice 2 octaves higher than usual. Why are your ears so floppy? They look like little pancakes. I want to eat them. The fitness board members stared in horror. Commodore Bluster, are you feeling all right? I feel like a butterfly, Bluster shouted, leaping onto his desk. And look, it's Chucky Wucky Puddles. I love Chucky Wucky. He torpedoed a garbage scow. It was so funny. The potato peels looked like confetti. Sir, Silvers whispered, trying to hold Bluster down. You're supposed to be court-martialing him. No, Bluster shrieked with laughter. I want to promote him. I want everyone to have a medal, and I want a sandwich made of clouds. At that exact moment, Iron Joe Jackson walked into the office. He found his Commodore, wearing a wastebasket as a hat and trying to dance the tango with a coat rack. Binghamton, Jackson barked. What in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on here? Oh, Iron Jaw, Bluster giggled, pinching Jackson's cheek. You have such a grumpy face. You need a hug. Jackson turned to Maverick, who was standing in the doorway, looking innocent. Captain Maverick, explain this. It's tropical giggles, sir, Maverick said solemnly. Very contagious. The Commodore's been under a lot of strain. He probably needs a long rest in a padded room. A hospital. Chapter 5. The Stolen Payroll and the Crocodile. The final straw came when the Azure Coast payroll $62,000 in cash was stolen, while Puddles was transporting it through the lawless streets of Grand Tropico. I was robbed, Skip, Puddles wailed. A girl with a blue dress. No, red. She had a birthmark on her ankle, shaped like a heart. She knocked me out with a baguette. Bluster, now recovered from the gas but twice as angry, saw his chance. I've got you now, You stole the money yourselves. I'm putting the whole base on lockdown until that cash is found. The crew spent the night scouring the island. They didn't find the girl, but they did find Sydney. Sydney was a 12-foot saltwater crocodile who lived in the mangroves. He was currently sunning himself on the beach with something caught in his massive jaws. A leather wallet embossed with the initials WB. That's the Commodore's wallet, Puddles gasped. Sydney ate the payroll. No, Maverick said, looking closer. He just found the wallet, Bluster, lost to frame us. Look, the cash bag is still missing. The trial of the century was held the next day in the base courtyard. Bluster was the prosecutor, the judge, and the jury. I have evidence, Bluster shouted. Maverick and Puddles stole the $62,000. They probably buried it. I object, Puddles yelled. I want to call my witness. What witness? Bluster sneered. Sydney. At that moment, the crew rolled out a large cage containing Sydney the Salty. The crocodile let out a low, rumbling hiss. This is an outrage, Bluster screamed. You can't put a reptile on the stand. He's not on the stand, sir, Maverick said. He's just here to return your wallet. The one you dropped near the gambling casino while you were trying to set a trap for us. I didn't. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed across the base. A group of enemy drones was spotted on the radar. In the panic, Puddles ran to the ceremonial cannon, an ancient relic filled with gunpowder, and, unbeknownst to everyone, the stolen payroll bag, which the real thieves had hidden there for safekeeping. Puddles, in a fit of accidental heroism, lit the fuse. Instead of a cannonball, the gun let out a shower of green paper. $62,000 in small bills rained down over the base like confetti. Iron Jaw Jackson, who had been watching the trial with growing disgust, caught a $20 bill as it fluttered past his nose. Binghamton, Jackson said, his voice cold enough to freeze salt water. You told me the money was stolen by these men. Yet, it appears it was hidden in a cannon on your own parade ground. Sir, I can explain, Bluster sobbed. It was the girl with the heart-shaped birthmark. It was the laughing gas. It was the garter belts. Enough, Jackson said. Maverick, take your men back to the boat. Binghamton, you're coming with me. We have a very nice desk job for you in the Aleutian Islands. I hear the SEALs are very disciplined. As the spectral 73 pulled away from the dock, Maverick looked back at the chaotic island of Nebula Cay. Puddles was waving a peanut butter sandwich at Sydney the crocodile. Gruber was already planning a new distillery, and the sun was setting over the Azure coast. Well, Puddles, Maverick said, lighting a cigar. Another successful mission. Skip? Puddles asked. Do you think the SEALs in the Aleutians need garter belts? Maverick just laughed as they disappeared into the tropical mist. The Chaos of Platform Omega, a novel of mismanaged valor and tropical absurdity. Chapter 1. The Tactical Silk Crisis. Commodore Barnaby. Barnaby, known to his subordinates as Old Iron Gut, and to his enemies as that man who screams at clouds, was currently having a spiritual crisis over hosiery. He stood in the center of the command center on Platform Omega, a rickety surveillance outpost floating in the turquoise heart of the Blue Horizon archipelago. Garter belts, Pringle, tactical, silk. Leg holders, Barnaby bellowed, his face reaching a shade of magenta that suggested his blood pressure was currently trying to win a land speed record. Lieutenant Percival Pudge Pringle, a man whose uniform always seemed 3 sizes too small and whose glasses were thick enough to see into the future, jumped so high he nearly hit the spinning ceiling fan. Sir. Yes, sir. The aero hostesses were very specific about the elasticity requirements, sir. You are the logistics director of this entire sector, Pringle. If the hostesses need their stockings secured, you snap to it. You shake a leg. You do whatever it is people do with legs. Barnaby slammed his fist onto a desk, covered in half-eaten antacids. What a war. The weight of the entire world rests on these shoulders. And what am I doing? I am playing haberdasher to a fleet of flight attendants. The phone on his desk rang with the persistence of a jilted lover. Barnaby snatched it up. "This is Commodore Barnaby. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas past. Listen to me. The plumbing in the senior officer's lounge is currently performing a backstroke. I am a commanding officer, not a licensed pipe fitter. Fix it, or I'll have you reassigned to the ice platforms of the north." Barnaby hung up and groaned, clutching his stomach. "My acid levels could dissolve a tank, Pringle. And now, I get word that High Commissioner Iron-Jawed Jackson is arriving for a sneak inspection." Pudge Pringle paled. "Jackson? The man who court-martialed a seagull for flying in a non-regulation pattern?" "The same," Barnaby whispered. "He'll see this place. He'll see the leaking sinks, the lack of garter belts, and the fact that Commander Silas Sullivan is currently running a floating casino out of the back of a patrol boat. I am finished. Unless—" Barnaby's eyes gleamed with a sudden, desperate light. "Pringle, if I were medically incapacitated, I couldn't be held responsible for the state of the base, could I? I could appoint an acting sector commander, someone. Expendable. You don't mean Sullivan." Barnaby grinned. "I'll give Silas Sullivan the keys to the kingdom. He and his band of piratical misfits will turn this base into a circus within 20 minutes. Jackson will arrive, see the chaos, and blame Sullivan. It's brilliant. It's Shakespearean. It's—" Ouch, my stomach. Chapter 2. The Sullivan Regency. Commander Silas Sly Sullivan was not a man who enjoyed paperwork. He enjoyed the smell of salt air, the sound of a well-tuned engine, and the sight of a winning poker hand. When he was summoned to Barnaby's deathbed, he found the Commodore draped over a chaise lounge, smelling faintly of peppermint and deceit. "Sullivan," Barnaby wheezed. "The doctors. They say it's hyperspasmodic tropical melancholy. I'm a goner. You must take over. Platform Omega is yours." Sullivan narrowed his eyes. He knew Barnaby the way a hawk knows a particularly loud mouse. "You want me to be the acting sector commander?" "Sir, I'm a deep-sea sailor. Putting me behind a desk is like putting a shark in a bathtub." "Nonsense!" Barnaby cried, suddenly energetic before remembering to cough. "And I'm appointing Pringle here as your executive officer. Don't touch my private stash of imported crackers." Within an hour of Sullivan taking the chair, Platform Omega had undergone a transformation. The plumbing issues were solved by diverting the water into a makeshift slip and slide for the enlisted men. The garter belts were finally found, though they were being used by the engineers as slingshots to launch oranges at passing supply ships. "Commander Sullivan," Pringle shouted, rushing into the office. "We have a problem. The Archduke of Amethia is arriving. He's an ally. He has 3 daughters, and he's coming to inspect our naval capabilities." Sullivan leaned back, putting his boots on the Commodore's mahogany desk. "Relax, Pooge. A royal visit? That's just a party with better hats. Tell the boys to break out the good juice. Full speed ahead." The Archduke, a man who wore enough gold braid to sink a small dinghy, arrived with his 3 daughters, the princesses. They were greeted not by a formal guard, but by Sullivan's crew, who were currently wearing ceremonial grass skirts and playing ukuleles made from discarded fuel cans. "Welcome, Your Highness," Sullivan cheered. "Welcome to the most relaxed station in the blue horizon." The Archduke looked around at the chaos. "Commander, these men, they are very expressive." "It's an old naval custom," Sullivan lied smoothly. "We call it the dance of the unfiltered soul. Would the princesses like a boat ride? We've got the fastest patrol craft in the archipelago. It's basically a rocket with cup holders." As Sullivan entertained the royals, Barnaby was watching through binoculars from his hospital window. "Look at them, Pringle. Sullivan is digging his own grave with a golden shovel. Once High Commissioner Jackson sees this hula dancing nightmare, Sullivan will be peeling potatoes in a penal colony for the next 40 years. Chapter 3. The Laughing Gas Gambit. However, Sullivan was harder to kill than a stubborn weed. He managed to charm the Archduke so thoroughly that the royal guest insisted on a 5-star dinner. The problem? The base had no food other than dehydrated beef and something labeled mystery loaf hash for. We need a distraction, Sullivan muttered to his crew. Barnaby is faking his illness. But he's still got the fitness board coming to evaluate Pudge for gross incompetence. We need to get the Commodore in a good mood, so he cancels the hearing. I've got an idea, Skip, said Virgil, the crew's resident borrower of government property. I snatched a tank of nitrous oxide, laughing gas from the dental clinic. If we leak a little into the Commodore's office, he'll be so happy he'd promote a rock to captain. The plan was executed with the precision of a bank heist. They hooked the tank up to the ventilation system of Barnaby's office just as the Commodore was preparing to meet the fitness board. Inside the office, Barnaby was fuming. I've got them now, Pringle. Sullivan, Pringle, everyone is going down. Suddenly, a faint hissing sound filled the room. Barnaby sniffed the air. Is that sweet? Do you smell strawberries, Pringle? I smell. Huh. Pringle suddenly doubled over. Sir, your eyebrows. They look like two furry caterpillars having a wrestling match. Barnaby began to giggle. They do, don't they? And look at your nose, Pringle. It's so pointy. It's like a little mountain for ants. By the time High Commissioner Jackson arrived for the inspection, Barnaby was standing on his desk, wearing a lampshade and trying to conduct an invisible orchestra. Commodore Barnaby, Jackson barked, his jaw looking like it was carved from granite. What is the meaning of this? Barnaby looked at the most feared man in the military and poked him in the stomach. Boop. You're a grumpy wumpy, aren't you, Jackie? Why so serious? Have a cracker. Let's dance. Jackson's face went from pale to white to a terrifying shade of grey. He's lost it. Combat fatigue. Get this man to a sanitarium. And who is responsible for this? This hero who stayed sane while his commander went mad? Sullivan stepped forward, looking incredibly solemn. That would be Lieutenant Pringle, sir. He's been managing the base while the Commodore. Well, you see him. Pringle, Jackson shouted. You're a brave lad. Medal of Valor. Promotion. I'll cancel that fitness board immediately. Sullivan winked at Pringle. The gas was working better than they dreamed. Chapter 4. The Reptilian Witness. The piece of Platform Omega was short-lived. A few weeks later, a new crisis emerged. The Great Payroll Heist. Sam Alese won the Great Payroll Heist, $62,000 in cash. The entire sector's salary had vanished from Pudge Pringle's possession during a delivery. I'm telling you, Skip, Pringle cried. I was walking past the lagoon, and this girl, she had a birthmark on her ankle in the shape of a heart. I got distracted, and when I woke up, the bag was gone. Barnaby, now returned from his rest and more bitter than ever, was ecstatic. Theft of government funds. Sullivan, your boy Pringle is going to the gallows. I've called for a court-martial. Sullivan, however, had a secret weapon. During a fishing trip, the crew had befriended a local legend. Snappy, a 12-foot alligator with a taste for peanut butter sandwiches and a habit of stealing shiny objects. Skip! Virgil yelled, running into the barracks. I found the money. Snappy's got it. He's in Pringle's shack, and he's currently using the payroll bag as a pillow. Isela Fai. Way say. You send Kenneth by. The court-martial was a spectacle. Barnaby sat as the judge, looking like he was about to eat a lemon. The evidence is clear. The money is gone. Pringle is guilty. I object, Sullivan shouted, kicking open the courtroom doors. I'd like to call a witness. Who? The girl with the heart-shaped ankle? Barnaby sneered. No, Sullivan grinned. Bring in Exhibit A. The door swung wider, and Virgil rode in a large, heavy-duty wagon. Inside sat Snappy the alligator, looking bored and clutching a leather satchel in his massive jaws. The courtroom erupted in screams. Barnaby jumped onto his chair. A monster. He's brought a prehistoric monster into my court. That's no monster, sir, Sullivan said calmly. That's Sydney. And he's got your wallet, too. See the initials B. On that leather flap in his teeth, Sullivan reached out and offered Snappy a peanut butter sandwich. The alligator opened his mouth, dropping the payroll bag and a very soggy wallet. "It's all there, Your Honor," Sullivan said, tossing the bag onto the table. "Snappy here is a bit of a kleptomaniac. He didn't mean any harm. He just wanted a nice place to nap." Barnaby was speechless. He looked at the alligator, then at the money, then at the grinning face of Silas Sullivan. He knew he'd been beaten. Again. "Case dismissed," Barnaby whispered, collapsing into his seat. "Just get that thing away from me before it decides I look like a sandwich." Chapter 5. The sunset on Platform Omega. As the sun set over the Blue Horizon archipelago, casting long shadows across the deck of the PT-73, Sullivan and his crew celebrated with a crate of confiscated champagne. "To Pudge," Sullivan toasted. "The only man in the Navy to be cleared of theft by an alligator." Pringle smiled, adjusted his glasses, and took a sip of his drink. "You know, Skip, I think I'm actually going to miss this place when the war is over." "Don't worry, Pudge," Sullivan laughed. "As long as Barnaby is in command, there'll always be a crisis. A beautiful girl with a birthmark, or a reptile in need of a lawyer. We're in the best business in the world." Far off in the distance, the faint sound of Barnaby screaming about a clogged toilet drifted across the water. Sullivan just smiled, leaned back, and watched the stars come out over the wildest outpost in the ocean. The end. The Chaos Chronicles of Aurelia Island. A novel of high seas hilarity and bureaucratic bedlam. Chapter I. The Gastric Gambit. The humidity on Aurelia Island was thick enough to chew, but it was nothing compared to the atmosphere inside the director's office. Director Barnaby Blazington, a man whose temper was as short as his stature and whose neck disappeared entirely when he was angry, was currently vibrating with a frequency that threatened to shatter the nearby decanter of expensive Andelisi Bourbon. "Garter belts, Pringle, garter belts," Blazington roared, his face transitioning from a light salmon to a deep, alarming beetroot. Ensign Percival Penny Pringle, a man whose primary relationship with gravity was one of mutual distrust, adjusted his glasses. "Sir, the medical staff specifically requested them for structural integrity of the stockings. It's a morale issue." "It's a morale issue." "Morale? I am the director of the Aurelia Hub. I am a leader of men, a titan of tropical logistics. And here I am, debating the elastic properties of hosiery." Blazington slammed a fist onto his mahogany desk, which groaned in sympathy. "If the nurses need garter belts, you snap to it. You shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean." Blazington slumped back, clutching his chest. "What a war. The weight of the world is on my shoulders. Commissioner Ironside is arriving today for a sneak inspection. A man who once court-martialed a seagull for loitering is coming here, to my island, which currently resembles a circus that has been hit by a hurricane." "Sir," Penny whispered, "the sinks in the officers' club are backing up again. The lounge is currently a shallow water habitat for disgruntled lieutenants." "I am a director, Pringle, not a plumber," Blazington shrieked. He reached for a bottle of antacids and began popping them like candy. "My stomach acid could start a cold engine. I can feel it. The ulcers are forming a coalition. If I get sick truly, medically, undeniably sick, I wouldn't have to face Ironside. I could appoint an acting director." A wicked glint entered his eye. It was the look of a man who had just realized he could throw his worst enemy under a very large, very slow-moving bus. "Not La Roque," Blazington mused, glancing at his sycophant assistant. "Lieutenant Lucas La Roque. No, we need someone who will fail spectacularly, someone whose incompetence will make me look like a saint in comparison. We need McAllister." "Commander Q?" Penny gasped. "Sir, giving the marauders control of the island is like giving a group of pyromaniac monkeys the keys to a fireworks factory." "Precisely," Blazington barked. "They will run wild. They will turn this place into a den of iniquity. And Ironside will arrive, just in time to see McAllister burning the flag to light a cigar. It's brilliant. Larocque, call the medic. I'm having a collapse. Chapter E. The Coronation of Chaos. Commander Quentin Q. McAllister was currently enjoying a peaceful afternoon on the deck of the Manticore, a PT boat that had seen more illegal modifications than a street racer's hatchback. He was a man of effortless charisma, a saltwater philosopher who believed that rules were merely suggestions written by people who didn't know how to fish. "Skip! Message from the big house!" yelled Gruber, the team's resident procurer of things that didn't belong to him. Blazington's kicked the bucket, or at least he's kicked the antacid habit. He's in the infirmary, and he wants you. Q sighed, adjusting his cap. If Barnaby's dying, I'll need to bring a celebratory bottle. But knowing him, he's just faking it to avoid a tax audit. When Q and Penny arrived at the infirmary, they found Blazington draped across a bed like a tragic opera star. Larocque was fanning him with a clipboard. "McAllister." Blazington wheezed, his voice a frail rasp. "I'm in bad shape. The doctors, they don't know. It could be tropical gout. It could be a broken soul. Looks like a case of inspectionitis to me, Barnaby," Q said, leaning against the doorframe. "Quiet. I am appointing you acting director of Aurelia. And Pringle here. He's your executive officer." Penny's eyes widened to the size of dinner plates. "Me? Exec? Oh boy. Skip, did you hear that? I'm a leader. Take the office. McAllister," Blazington groaned, turning his face to the wall to hide his smirk. "Go. Govern. Rule." As soon as the door clicked shut, Q looked at Penny. "You realize what this is, right? He's setting us up. Ironside is coming. And Barnaby wants us to be the ones standing in the ruins when he arrives. So what do we do, Skip?" Q's grin was slow and dangerous. "We do what we always do, Penny. We give the people what they want. If they want a show, we'll give them a gala they'll never forget." Chapter E. The Archduke and the Hula Hustle. The following morning, Aurelia Island was in a state of high-speed renovation. Under Q's relaxed leadership, the sinks were fixed by bypassing the pipes into the fountain. The lawn was mowed by a herd of borrowed goats, and the marauders had set up a cultural exchange center which bore a suspicious resemblance to an open-air casino. Suddenly, a distress call crackled over the radio. A private yacht belonging to Archduke Maximilian of Moldavia was experiencing engine difficulties near the reef. "A royal rescue," Penny squealed. "Think of the medals, Skip." The Manticore roared to life, cutting through the turquoise waves. When they reached the yacht, they found the Archduke, a man who looked like he had been carved out of granite and dipped in gold, standing with his 3 daughters, the princesses of Moldavia. "Greetings, Your Highness," Q shouted over the engine. "Commander McAllister at your service. We're here to escort you to the hub." The Archduke eyed the marauders, specifically Gruber, who was currently trying to trade a slightly used life jacket for the Archduke's watch. "Are these men official?" "Completely," Q lied smoothly. "We're the elite welcoming committee. Our primary custom is a ceremonial wowie wow wow greeting. It's very ancient." "Like a chicken?" the Archduke asked, baffled, as the crew began clucking and flapping their arms. "Exactly like a chicken," Q confirmed. Back at the hub, Blazington was watching through binoculars from his hospital window. His jaw dropped. "He's bringing a sultan and princesses. He's going to be a hero." "Actually, sir," Larocque whispered, "that's Archduke Maximilian, and he's known for having a very short fuse regarding his daughter's honor." "Perfect," Blazington hissed. "We'll provoke him. We'll make him think McAllister is a lecherous scoundrel." That evening, Q arranged a grand banquet. The Archduke was impressed, mostly because the marauders had managed to turn a shipment of tinned spam into something resembling canard à l'orange. But the peace was shattered when Penny accidentally wandered into the princess's quarters while looking for a corkscrew. "Halt! Infidel!" the Archduke roared, discovering Penny under a bed he had tripped. "I was just looking for the vintage, sir," Penny cried. The situation devolved into a frantic chase. To hide the fact that one of the princesses had slipped away to go for a boat ride with Virgil, the crew's resident heartthrob. Gruber and two other sailors, dressed in grass skirts and veils, attempting to perform a traditional Moldovan dance to distract the Archduke. It worked, until Blasington, recovered miraculously from his deathbed, burst in and ripped the veil off Gruber. "Aha, an impostor, a phony balinese bani." Blasington screamed. The Archduke rose, his face thunderous. "This is an outrage. I will raid your Washington. I will tell the State Department that Aurelia Island is a madhouse." Chapter if the Euphoria gas incident, the Archduke's departure, left the island under a dark cloud, and High Commissioner Ironside's arrival was now imminent. Blasington was back in power, and he was determined to send Penny to a fitness board, a military trial that would strip him of his rank and send him to a remote outpost where the only company was aggressive penguins. "You're finished, Pringle," Blasington cackled in his office. "A fitness board is convening tomorrow. One look at your record, the torpedoed garbage scow, the accidental sinking of the director's private pier, and you'll be a seaman second class before lunch." Q met with the crew in the shadows of the motor pool. "How?" Gruber asked. "The man hasn't smiled since 1982. Remember when I came back from the dentist last week?" Q asked. "That nitrous oxide? Laughing gas. If we can pipe some of that into his office, he'll be so hysterical he'd promote a rock to admiral." The plan was set. The marauders borrowed a tank of medical-grade gas from the infirmary. As the fitness board, led by the stern Admiral Shoemaker, arrived, the crew began spraying for frangipani flies outside Blasington's window. A thick, sweet-smelling cloud drifted into the director's office. Inside, Blasington was midway through a scathing indictment of Penny's character, and furthermore, this man is a menace too. He. A menace too. Ha ha ha. Admiral Shoemaker blinked. "Director, are you quite all right?" I'm ha. "Oh, Shoemaker, you have a funny nose, like a potato." "Ha ha ha." Blasington doubled over, slapping his knee. "And, Pringle, Chucky Wucky, you're a riot. Remember that time you torpedoed the trash? The potato peels. Ha ha." They looked like little sailors. The Admiral stared in horror as Blasington began dancing with a coat rack. "Captain, have you lost your mind?" "I found it, Shoy. I found it in the clouds." Blasington grabbed the Admiral's hat and put it on. "I'm a pretty bird." "Tweet, tweet." Q leaned in the window, whispering, "Sir, about that fitness board, should we cancel it?" "Cancel it? Ha ha. Promote him, give him a medal. Give everyone a medal." However, the gas began to dissipate, just as a real air raid siren went off a practice drill that Penny, in his excitement, had accidentally triggered with live rounds. A Japanese scout plane, or perhaps just a very confused weather balloon, appeared on the horizon. Penny, still half giddy from the fumes leaking through the vents, stumbled to a deck gun. He didn't aim. He didn't even look. He just pulled the trigger while laughing at a seagull. Boom! The target was obliterated in a freakish display of luck. Admiral Shoemaker gasped. "Magnificent." The man stands in the face of death, laughing. He is a combat genius, a hero. Blasington, now coming down from the gas and feeling a massive headache, groaned. But he's a boob. Oh, why me? Why is it always me? Chapter Ves. Rex the Dragon and the payroll peril. The final test for the marauders came when the base payroll, $62,000, in small, unmarked bills, was scheduled for transport. Blasington, sensing one last chance to trap Q, insisted that Penny pick up the money alone, hoping he would lose it. Penny did, in fact, lose it, not to thieves, but to a girl's ankle and a sudden case of vertigo. "It's gone. Skip!" Penny wailed. "I was walking past the lagoon, and I saw a girl with a birthmark on her ankle. It was shaped like a heart, and I tripped, and the bag went flying, and then... nothing. A heart-shaped birthmark?" Q mused. "That's a lead. But they weren't the only ones searching. Rex, a 6-foot Komodo dragon that the crew had adopted as an unofficial mascot, mostly because he scared away the bill collectors, had been seen wandering the beach with a leather wallet in his mouth. Blazington found the wallet empty. Aha! The dragon ate the money, and McAllister is the one who brought that beast onto this island. The trial was held in the hub's mess hall. Blazington acted as prosecutor, judge, and primary witness. I intend to prove that this reptile, under the direction of the defendant, consumed the wealth of the United States Navy. I object, Penny shouted. Rex has an unhappy childhood. He's a victim of circumstance. Order, the presiding officer yelled. Just as the verdict was about to be read, Q and Gruber burst in, dragging a reluctant Rex on a heavy chain. The dragon looked bloated and miserable. We have new evidence, Q shouted. Rex didn't eat the money. He was just the courier. We found the real thieves, a pair of local smugglers, who tried to hide the loot in an old ceremonial cannon on the beach. Nonsense, Blazington screamed. There are no smugglers. Oh? Then what's this? Q pointed out the window. Gruber had loaded the cannon with blank charges, but he had stuffed the missing payroll bags inside his wadding to get them past the guards. He lit the fuse. Kaboom! A rain of $20 bills began to fall from the sky, drifting over the assembled officers like green snow. My money! Blazington cried, running outside and trying to catch the bills in his mouth. It's raining wealth. Ha ha, the presiding officer sighed, watching the director scramble on the ground. Case dismissed. And somebody get that dragon a peanut butter sandwich. He looks like he's about to bite the stenographer. Epilogue. The status quo. Weeks later, the sun was setting over Aurelia Island. The Manticore was bobbing gently in the lagoon, the sound of laughter and an illegal radio station drifting across the water. In the big office, Director Blazington sat with 2 black eyes, a gift from a falling coconut, and a fresh bottle of antacids. He looked out the window to see Q and the marauders sharing a toast with a group of nurses. Rex the dragon was snoozing at their feet, wearing a tiny sailor's cap. La Roque, Blazington whispered. Yes, sir? Do we have any more of that laughing gas? No, sir. Commander McAllister traded it to a passing freighter for 3 crates of premium cigars. Blazington put his head on his desk. Why me, Larocque? Why is it always me? Out on the water, Q raised his glass to the stars. To the Navy, he grinned. Long may she wave. Especially when the director isn't looking. And as Penny accidentally fell overboard while trying to salute, the Wowie Wow Wow chorus rose into the tropical night. A song of chaos, friendship, and the eternal struggle against being a boob. The end. The chaos. Chronicles of Azure Atoll, a novel of nautical nonsense and military mishaps. Chapter 1. The Director's Acidic Disposition. Azure Atoll was supposed to be the crown jewel of the Global Security Alliance. Nestled in the sapphire waters of the Gilded Chain, it was a high-tech fortress designed to maintain order in the Southern Hemisphere. Instead, it had become the personal purgatory of Director Sterling Vane. Vane was a man who looked as though he had been carved out of a very sour lemon. His uniform was so stiff with starch that he didn't so much walk as he did pivot and slide. At this very moment, he was staring at a requisition form with the intensity of a man looking at a death warrant. Garter belts! Vane screamed, his voice reaching a frequency that caused the local seagulls to crash into the radar dish. Agent Thorne, why am I looking at a requisition for antique silk garter belts? Officer Cedric Thorne, a man whose spine was permanently curved in a sycophantic bow, winced. The nurse's auxiliary, sir. They claim the modern tactical leg straps are uninspired. They want a vintage aesthetic for the upcoming gala. This is a war zone. Van slammed his fist onto his desk, which was made of reclaimed mahogany and ego. Well, a semi-active security theater. We are the shield against chaos, and you're talking to me about hosiery? Snap to it, Thorne. If they need silk, find silk. Shake a leg. Vane slumped back, clutching his midsection. Everything is on my shoulders. The weight of the world, Thorne. It's crushing me. And now, the final blow. He pulled a crumpled, decrypted message from his pocket. Arbiter Ironstone is coming. The Titan, of discipline himself. A sneak inspection. Today, Thorne gasped. Arbiter Ironstone was legendary for his ability to find a single unpolished button from 3 miles away. He once court-martialed a man for having an unmilitary sneeze. This place is a circus, Thorne. Look at the Petty Officers Club. The sinks are backing up again. Am I the director or a plumber? And who did I find in my office this morning? A stray cat wearing a miniature captain's hat. I'm losing it. Vane fumbled for a bottle of bright pink antacids, popping them like candy. My stomach acid could start a cold fusion reactor. Thorne, if I'm sick, really, truly, bedridden. Sick, I can't be held responsible for the state of the base, can I? A predatory glint entered Vane's watery eyes. If I am incapacitated, I must appoint an acting director. Someone to take the brunt of the arbiter's wrath. Someone expendable. Not Major Maverick, sir? Thorne whispered, a smile creeping across his face.